a little bit later than advertised, a whole month later than advertised. But we are back with you. It's the eRacing GP Endurance Edition. Des Corker alongside Alex Young to take you through qualification and the next 4 hours of entertainment. Alex, relieved and happy to be back.
Yes, absolutely. Round 3 had to get postponed, but we are back now, and we got an extra bit of racing now. At the famous Nurburgring, and of course we've got lots of great teams participating.
Indeed. Let's just remind us where we are. We're at the midway point of the championship here, round 3 of 6, and these are the 5 teams who have excelled so far. Stratos Motorsports with Nakib Aslan and Miko Nassi, car 111222. Alistair Young, familiar name, alongside Nabil Aslan, that's Nakib's brother. Car 333, Mohammed Tisby and Jin Masvilton racing out of Singapore. Adrian Ferguson and Isham Pieris in car 444. It's a strong team lineup, Alex.
Yeah, and actually there are 6 cars, so there's another 2 cars are joining this team for this weekend. And then, of course, the next team is actually second in the championship, really, is Wacko's Flip Table Racing. And the Mercedes are 9969, really. That's second in the championship right now. They haven't really been challenging for the wins yet, but they've been super consistent. And, of course, 3 cars there.
Yeah, do look out for the Wacko's Flip Table racing out of Hong Kong. In the car number 49 is the Speed Tavern team, racing with data, race control sim, racing peripherals. They've been a little bit under the radar, but as you say, they're third in the championship. They've accumulated 27 points, a P5 and a P3 so far.
Yeah, super consistent, just getting the business done. But they're looking really quick here at Nurburgring. Maybe they'll be fighting for the win.
And then the Legion of Racers, they won race number 1. They've got car 889 and Dikarama Moreno Pratama out of Indonesia. And then young Dylan Tan and Luis Moreno. That's a fine little interesting combination, that one. Car 144. Watch out for those, Alex.
Yeah, definitely. Going to be very strong. And of course, Laundry House, they've had a lot of rotten luck so far. But Terry Rayton and Andrew Lawrenson in car 911, they're 5th in the championship. And I think they're going to be very strong today as well.
Yeah, do look out for that. Sky Blue, very, very good. There is the championship as it stands in the GT3s. Stratos Motorsports in first place, car 111. Wacko's Fliptable in P2. Speed Tavern in 3. Legion of Racers, Laundry House, we've just gone through them. But keep an eye out for GSR Esport. Laundry House, second team. Team Tedco racing out of Malaysia. Full Pace Racing Team and JMX Phantom, the best of the all Indonesian teams. The 10 decent teams up at the top of the GT3 Championship.
Yeah, 10 different teams, but 48 cars entered in this weekend. So big field indeed. We are actually in qualifying there, Des. And it's the GT4 boys out. And look at it, it's raining at the moment with Bernard Chan in shot right now, car 21 in the lead at the moment.
You have made my dreams come true. I love it when the rain is there. And it's true to form at the Nurburgring. We'll talk about that in just a second. Let's look, though, at the entry list for the GT3 Championship. That's the main thing that we've got. Some big names there. Out of the Philippines, we've got Alex Capano and Suma Debilia, who can be quite good. Darryl Brady and Voltaire Seiko. Afiq and Nabil Iman coming out of Malaysia. The all Hong Kong team, Sky Lai, Yuk Chan, Marco Wong and Kyo Yim. Very unusual. Most teams are 2 racers, Alex. The Hong Kong team have gone for 4.
Yeah, and very, very strong team indeed. And then look a bit further down that list. You can see but mostly Malaysian teams here, and a lot of Singaporean teams as well. But I do love that we've got a good mixture here. Teams from Brunei,
China,
Philippines, China, of course, Australia. And then just at the bottom there, you got Car 77, is a very strong team as well. So lots of good things to look out for.
Yeah, the Yudhistira, Rayanka and Radita Hendarmo racing for Indonesia. Yudhistira, a famous name in motorbikes. And continuing it right the way down the list, you've got the 3 Hong Kong entrants at the end. Rayton and Lawrence, and look out for them. They always start well. They're always there or thereabouts, but it's a 4-hour race. A great start does not necessarily mean a great finish. And that's a strong team. Luis Moreno, has he changed teams? He's changed teams for this competition, hasn't he? And then we continue the GT4. 2 competitions ongoing. The championship leaders are, at the moment, let me just get that one right. Where's the team's championship? GT4.
Yeah.
Bernard Chan has picked up points in the championship. Jonathan Takumi Lee is the joint leader alongside Henry Coe and Kent Lau. Back onto qualification.
Yeah.
And what have we got? We've got 15 minutes for the GT4, then 15 minutes for the GT3, Alex.
Yes, that's right. So 15 minutes. GT4 cars are just about finishing. Bernard Chan there looking very good. He's quickest at the moment. Second is Wong. So there's a lot of good teams out there. And of course, there's a new team actually. It's called Hold My Beer Racing that's just joined. And they're out here in GT4 as well.
Splendid. Of course, we don't condone drinking and driving. Of course, we don't. We are at the Nurburgring. It is chilly. It is windy. It is wet. This is the circuit. Overtaking opportunities in 2 or 3 potential moments here. Alex, 15 corners. It's a clockwise circuit. What do you like and dislike about the Nurburgring?
It's a typical Formula 1 track, shall I say. And interesting, lots of good things. The first sector, turns 1, 2, 3, are very, very technical, very slow, very easy to lose a lot of speed there. And then it kind of opens up a bit. We do have overtaking opportunities. Of course, the famous Dunlop is the hairpin on the far left there, and Schumacher S's after that. And of course, the long straight down to the last chicane. So lots of good bits and pieces to do.
It's 5 kilometers duration. We've got 4 hours, so consistency is the key. Regular lap times and making sure the transitions between the drivers, that's also important as well. We've seen multiple times, even in the 3 races that we've had, the 2 this season and the 1 on the tail end, where the first driver has got off to a great start and then the transition has caused real problems.
Yeah.
That's one of the arts of endurance.
Yeah. And we got the GT3 boys now going out. GT4s are done and dusted. As we get into qualifying.
Indeed. Okay. Qualifying time 40. Yeah, okay. Qualifying has just started for the GT3s. And we are on board here with Andreas Wolf. Now, Wolf is a brand new name for me. Cracking looking livery, that. I like that one. Looks particularly splendid in the wet as well. He pulls out of his drive. Who is out there?
Well, let's go see.
Ryan Hooligan.
Yeah.
Ryan Houlihan out of Australia. Look out for Laundry House there. Easy to pick off, and that is a beautiful looking car. But this is Pippa Bakita. Now Pippa missed the last round, having really impressed in the first series of races in round 1 of the season.
Yeah, it's good to see her back. I mean, she was stunning, wasn't she, at Barcelona round 1. I think it was a team at Houlihan as well, actually, very, very quick indeed.
Yeah.
So, I'm not sure if from what we've seen from the practice races, they're about, but not outstanding so far in Nurburgring, but maybe they've just been keeping the powder dry in the test races, and we'll see where we go. Their teammate, though, Lawrenson and Terry Rayton in the car number 911 in that Porsche, they were very quick in the test races.
Let's see who else is out there. A lot of racers are still in the pits. The GT4 guys are all in the pits. Who else are we worth? Like the Hong Kong team, Wacko's Flippable Racing. We've spoken about them in the pre-show. We anticipate that they will be there or thereabouts. Wacko's Flippable Racing have got a P4 and a P2 to their name, so they are well capable of racing at the top level. We are on board here with Yat Lam Law, car 939. So it's raining on the outside, but the car looks like the circuit is still pretty dry, Alex.
Yeah, it does look very dry. It looks a bit down. Maybe they're on slicks actually. Although the track is damp, let's go for a lap with Law. He's stunningly quick in the BMW, although I'm not really sure the BMW is the best car on the grid at the moment. Down into turn 1, it dips down a bit, and he gets the braking just right as he comes out of turn 1. Now turn 2, this is that technical bit I was telling you about where it looks so wide and open and you're very tempted to just push too hard, but you just get it sideways a little bit and you lose too much time. Turn 3, got to get onto the curb here. Yes, he does so nicely. Then turn 4, just a tiny lift before you get back on the throttle. He actually touched the brakes just a touch there, perhaps just to get the nose in. Now this medium long length straight, and then into turn 4. Very fast corner this. You're just going to be very committed to there. And somehow don't go too wide, because you've got to get over the left a bit for this next corner. Turn 5. Great through there. Down this long straight through turn 6. It's not really a corner, it's just a long straight. Before braking for Dunlop. Dunlop here is a good corner. It's very heavily banked as we see one car go off in front of him. He'll be looking at that and thinking, please don't get in my way. Comes out of there. They've got the Schumacher S's coming up after that. His left and right hander. Just a small lift here at the. Oh, he's having a break. So the track conditions are very damp indeed. It's normally just a small lift through that bit before down to this not long straight. Turn 10 and 11. You can use all the curb on the exit there. He decides not to. And this next right hander, this turn 11, is a very important corner to get right because it leads down the long back straight. So you've got to get it right to carry that good extra speed all the way down the straight, and you just gain lap time really if you get it nicely. And then down to the chicane. This is an overtaking opportunity in the race. Quite a fast chicane. You can carry a lot of speed through there. And you jump up on the curb on the exit. But he's not doing that at the moment, I think, because it's wet. He's worried of the curbs being a bit damp. Now through the last corner, and Law gets a good exit out there, getting a little bit of a tow from the car in front as he crosses the line. Goes P5. He
certainly does. A 2:04.1. We are possibly anticipating that to be a standard time. Baha is fastest. Who is Kalen Chin is in the pits. Kalen Chin is out there at the moment. 10 minutes of qualification still to go. Kalen hasn't set a lap time as yet, but we like Kalen Chin, and that black and he's got that one wrong. He was too tight coming into that corner. Luckily there's a 15-minute qualification time. Not the qualification matters too much in the endurance races, but you don't want to be stuck right at the back of the grid. How about Miko Nassi? What's Miko doing? We looked at Stratos Motorsports. 6 entrants they've got into today's race. And this is Miko Nassi. Has Miko been practicing for this one, do you know?
Miko, yes, he has. I mean, they've all been putting in a lot of time. But I know what you mean. Some races he does turn up a bit undercooked and maybe doesn't do quite as much driving preparation as he needs to. But Miko's a class act. Even with not much testing under his belt, he will be strong.
Miko Nassi is with he's with your boy, isn't he? He's with Alistair today. Is that right? Car 222. They do chop and change the teams a little bit, so I've got to keep a close eye on that. But Miko Nassi currently P43, hasn't set a time so far. We're sticking with him, although he's hit the curb just about right there. This long straight. I love this helicopter vision as they come down into the left-hand corner. That's where we just saw Kalen Chin slip off, and it does look a little bit greasy out there. Rain is expected for the next 5 or 10 minutes, and then it's loud. But the track is damp, although it's 25 degrees trackside temperature, which actually just adds to the slipperiness.
Yeah, it does. But the rain is coming down. We'd love to see the lap times we're seeing though right now. We're getting some of these boys in the 2:01 really at the moment, 2-minute flat. I got a feeling that's right on the cusp. We could have some of the guys on the wet tires, but some of them might be on slicks.
So Nassi has just posted a 2:02, so he's a little bit off the pace. Pippa Bakida with a 2 minutes flat is, as you say, the leader at the moment. And we mentioned Team Laundry House Endurance, and Bakida, she has set the fastest lap time so far, and not far behind her, Andy Lawrenson. So the 2 Laundry House teams, as usual, Alex, have come here fit and firing on all cylinders. And where are we? Are we early in the day? No, we're late in the day over in Australia, aren't we? They're ahead of us, not behind us. Can never remember.
Yeah, I think just ahead of us actually, because they're on the East Coast, not the West Coast.
They're a little bit more awake than everybody else. So mid-afternoon, they've had their coffee, they've got everything out of their system. So the Aussies are starting well. Lawrenson currently in P2, a 2 flat or 2.1.
But he's 0.3 up on his best lap time right now, so if he can just finish off this last sector, this could be good enough to put himself on pole position.
This is on board with Andy Lawrenson through that chicane. Looked like he got that one just about right, and he's got this left-hander to complete this lap down into the home straight. This is Andy Lawrenson currently in P2. Time to beat 20.123, and Andy Lawrenson is now fastest, 1:59.9. And he immediately slams on the brakes, and he's very happy. How about Skylie? Skylie, good to see the Macau racer coming in at the moment at 20.711 in P4. That's quick.
Yeah, it is quick. But he's got traffic now, And yeah, he's just lost a bit of time, I think, so he's not going to go quicker. So it's going to be very close, though. Very similar lap time for his fastest, probably a 7 again to go across the line. Yeah, 2:07. But yes, so he needs to find a bit more time. Nigel Chua is going a bit quicker. So is Naqib Aslan, actually. Naqib Aslan is 2/10 up. I'm going to say it's not close enough to trouble the front row, but maybe he can sneak onto the second row if he can nail the last bit of this lap.
There is Naqib. Bottom right of your screen. Looking very, very focused. Hits that chicane again. Just about right. It's a fabulous finale to this lap, and then takes the right-hand corner. And comes into the home straight, and Naqib Aslan's time, a 2:0.9. It doesn't move him up the standings. Currently only P7. In fact, it drops him down the standings because Kalen Chin has put in a fast time. We worried about Kalen Chin earlier on. We're on board now with Kalen. And so he just goes round the chicane. Can get very technical, Kalen, the young Aussie. If you've been watching the E1 Championship, he had a good ending to that particular season.
Yeah, took 3 wins, didn't he? I mean, he's always been a good sim racer. We saw that last year, but this year he's just stepped up the game. Kalen has, yeah. So that slide out of that last corner, though, turn 3, cost him. And this lap is at the moment he's down on his fastest lap.
Okay, let's move away from Kalen. See ya. Andika Rama Malana. Welcome back, Andika. He is fastest. And if I sound like a bit of favoritism for Andika, there is a little bit there, because I love it when the Indonesians come over and try to give it the big one to the rest of Southeast Asia. And Andika Rama Malana, we again have seen him lead races, Alex,
yeah,
but not being able to actually finish the job off.
Yeah, he's very, very good indeed, you have to say. He's one of the favourites for the championship for me. I know he's only 4th in the championship right now, leading the races, but don't forget, in round 2 they had that disconnect, so you know that they're going to be fighting for the championship, and he needs to put that right with the win today.
Yeah, or a good finish. What they can't afford to do is they can't afford another disconnect or another really, really bad lap, really, really bad round, because although you can drop 1 round, 2 rounds can really hurt. Here is Andika Rama. Let's get on board with him. Now, talk to me about his lap, see how he's going. Looks like he's got that one just about right, coming up to the hill into the chicane. Is he? Yeah, he's cleared that one now. Oh, then he loses it.
Yeah, he does. But that's not too bad, and he's got it under control. Ooh, it's going to be a great time. He's 4/10 up right now, leading the racer's car. The livery's not on the car right now, but we'll try and get the livery on for the race itself.
He's improved his lap time, a 1:59.6 to improve from a 1:59.9. So he is the fastest once again. Andika Rama Malana, at the moment with 3.5 minutes to go, is on pole position at the start of a 4-hour race. How about those from Hong Kong? Triple L, Leo Leung. Fastest at 2:01.977. Where is he at the moment? P19 at the moment.
Yeah, needs to find a bit more time. I think this is an out lap right now. So 3 minutes to go. He'll have a chance to go across the line and do another lap. So he should be quite good.
Anyone else that we can actually maybe pick up as being potential? Oh, there's nobody really. How about Raditya? He's out. Nurshaz Lizam. We've seen Nurshaz Lizam be quick, and we just joined him getting a little bit of a spin there. P11 at 2.0. These are pretty quick and pretty consistent lap times. His fastest at 2.0.8. That was the lap that he's just pointed out there. But Andika Rama still leading the way. Team Laundry House in P2 and P3. Let's have a look at Pipa Bakida. She is on a quickish lap.
Yeah, she is. 3/10 up. This could be enough for pole position, you have to say. So Bakida in the McLaren, the Laundry House McLaren. But look, she's got traffic at the last corner. The JMX Phantom car there of Aviva Bar there. But I don't think it's slowed up too much. Comes out the last corner. 3/10 up. Ooh, it's gonna be close.
And Bakida was in P3, and now it's P1. You called it right. Oh, it's just 200ths of a second faster than Andika Rama, but welcome back, Pipa. Missed her in round 2. There is Bahar in the JMX Phantom. How's Bahar? Bahar's not too shabby, actually. He's in
was that P5?
P5 with a 2.0.261. Has he got time for one more lap? I think they do have a time for one more lap, but at the moment it's Bakida from Laundry House ahead of Andika Rama from Legion of Racers, Lawrenson Laundry House, Nigel Chua got himself in P4, quietly done, Bahar in P5, Kalen Chin, Skylight, Yatlam Law completing the first 4 rows of the grid. Let's have a look at Nigel Chua. He's on a lap, where is he? Track is greasy. Gosh, greasy. They are horrible conditions. You don't know whether to stick or twist, do you?
Well, I think the drivers, there'll be quite a few drivers. Oh, Nigel gets a bit sideways through the chicane. But that's okay. Maybe lost a tenth there. But they'll be definitely trying slicks right now. Most of them will be on slicks for sure, because it looks like it's dry enough. Will we see anyone jumping just before the end? I have to say, Andrew Lawrenson, the other Laundry House car, is looking quite quick right now. He's on a good lap as well. There he is. Wow, he's actually 4 tenths up right now, and he's only halfway through the lap. So, and he's following his teammate there. There's Bakita in front of him. Will Bakita give Lawrenson a tow down his back straight? If I was Bakita, I wouldn't, because if Lawrenson completes his lap, this could be good enough for pole position.
Traffic is ahead of them though, but they're coming towards the end. There is Andy Lawrenson. Bottom right of your screen, he's got that one just about right. He has got a tow from Bakita. Is it a tow, or is she just hindering him? Takes a good line around this final corner. This is potentially for P1 in qualification. Andy Lawrenson, a 1:59.9. He needs to be, yes, he is the new fastest lap, a 1:59.4 to go into pole position. It's a Laundry House 1-2, and Lawrenson did that right at the last second of the qualification. Talk about leaving it late.
Yeah.
Talk about timing it to perfection.
What a great lap. That was fantastic by Lawrenson. Good job there. Sits in the pit lane. His job is done, so he'll be happy to sit that out right now. I should have see what it looks like on the timetable. We will have to go for a short break in a little while. This is this is on the Saturday. We'll come back with the race, which will then be on the Sunday, so to speak, in the virtual world. Let's have a look at the time so far.
Well, as we look at it, Lawrenson alongside Terry Rayton. Lawrenson it was who set the time. He's on pole. Pakida and Houlihan in P2, and Dika Milana Pratama in the Mercedes. So Porsche, McLaren, Mercedes, Nigel Chua and Anandas, the best of the the second of the McLarens. Bahar and Fadli Rakhmat, I always like that little combination. Kalen Chin, he was pretty quick as well, although he's just been dropped down. The BMW of Law and Mark. Law has put in a fast time and got himself onto the 3rd row of the grid in P5. Right the way down. Look at those timings though. All pretty good. Within 1 second, P1 down to P9.
Yeah, and I have to say, look at that championship leader. Late Stratos Motorsports with Nabil Aslan and Muhammad Alif down in 15th position. They are making it very hard for themselves. The Ferraris all struggling at the moment. At the moment, it seems to be the way of the Porsche, McLaren, and the Mercedes. Those look like the quick cars. And of course, Lam Law there in the BMW, somehow in 6th.
On the extreme right of that graphic, you can see the weight that the teams are carrying. That is based upon where they are in the championship. So the 15 kilos added to Nakib and Alif is causing them a problem. But P15 for them, looking good for Laundry House.
Yes, it is.
You join us on the formation lap ahead of the 4-hour endurance race, round 3 of the eRacing GP Championship. We're at the Nurburgring. We've got a Team Laundry House 1-2 on the front row of the grid. The sky blue of Pipa Bakida, but Andy Lawrenson setting the fastest time. It's a nice way to start. It's not the be-all and end-all, but it's always better to be at the front of the grid rather than at the middle of the grid, which is where the championship leaders Stratos Motorsports are. It's a rolling start, so the drivers have got to be in order when they cross the start-finish line, and that start-finish line is coming up in very quick fashion very shortly. They've got to go round this right-hand corner, then they're onto the home straight, and bottom right of your screen, car 911 in the Porsches. Team Laundry House's Andy Lawrenson, Pippa Bakida alongside him. You've got Andika Rama and Marco Wong in the places beyond. So the rolling start and the 4-hour race for the eRacing GP is underway. Lawrenson leads off, but that's a great start from Pippa Bakida, and Lawrenson is under intense pressure on that first corner, and Bakida is almost forced out by the JMX Phantom Racer. That's an aggressive start by Andika Rama Malana. Alex Young, and Andika's got into P2 because Bakida's been forced wide on corner number 2.
Wow, that was really aggressive there by Marco Wong. Good job, though, they get into P2. JMX Phantom car, wow, seeing top 3. We haven't seen the top 3 so far in the Endurance Edition, so this is a big steps. This is a team with big ambition. But at the moment, Lawrenson, they're holding on to the lead somehow. But, you know, Lawrenson was leading one of the races earlier on this season, but he spun out. So I was talking to him a couple of weeks ago, and he knows he's got the pace. He just needs to have the composure to try and finish the job.
So Marco Wong it was. I called it wrong. I called JMX Phantom, but Marco Wong has got himself into P2. That is really, really good racing. Lawrenson is the man in the lead, and already these three are beginning to pull away just a little bit from the rest of the pack. You can see that they've got maybe half a second advantage. How that can happen so quickly on the first lap, Alex?
Yeah, that is. Yeah, that's what the rest of the pack don't want to see. They don't want to see the leaders get a chance to go. And yeah, absolutely, the top 3 there pulling away from the rest of the pack quite a bit. Just pulling away. Maybe because we see Lam Law there up into 4th position. He's probably the bottleneck at the moment. The BMW really, the ACC as it is right now, is not perhaps the quickest car out there, but somehow Lam Law just somehow managed to make it quick. And look at that, that's Bakida off.
That's twice now in the first lap. Bakida has made a mistake. Law moves into P3. Andika Rama is there in P4. It's Lawrenson who leads the way at the end of the first lap. But Pippa Bakida, having been really quick, has made 2 mistakes on the opening lap. Forced wide by Marco Wong, and then seemingly just forced wide again. Marco Wong is having a big effort to get onto Andy Lawrenson, and these two are pulling away magnificently well.
I mean, the team that for me has improved so much this year, seriously impressed with JMX Phantom. I'm going to go on about them again. Could this be the race where they show their worth and then actually finish on the podium? Because you're right, he's pushing really hard on Lawrenson right now. Probably a little bit harder than Lawrenson would like. You know, these opening laps and these sort of 4-hour races, you want to be a bit steady. You want to look after the tires and the brakes and just bed your way into the race. You don't want to be doing it like a sprint race and attacking straight away from the first lap, because you just tend to make mistakes. And the Laundry House boys we've seen, Bakida especially, can be susceptible to mistakes.
Well, there is Bakida at the tail end of that run of 5. Avia Bahar behind them. Nigel Chua, who was 4th fastest in qualification, he is in P7 at the moment. Let's have a look at Nakib Aslan. Nakib and Alif Hamilton are the championship leaders in car 111. They didn't have the best of qualifications, as is often the case. There they are challenging Kalen Chin to try to get up into the top 10. Kalen Chin, though, holds onto his line very nicely. This is Nakib Aslan. Trying very hard to make sure they don't lose too much ground in the early stages.
Yeah, but look at that. He's got Mikko Nasi, the 3 Stratos cars that are actually in shot. Mikko Nasi just behind him. But yes, Nakib Aslan, he's going to be very impatient to get to the front, because if he wants a chance to finish in the podium, he's got to, before the end of the stint, he needs to try and get up into the top 6 or 7, I feel.
It is a long stint. Most of the teams are 2 drivers, so what are you expecting? A 2-hour stint from both of them? They'll have to have a pit stop, but that would generally be the way, wouldn't it?
Yeah. The more professional teams especially, they won't try and swap drivers too much. And 2 hours are no problem for these drivers. These drivers driving 2 hours, piece of cake. So I can see Aslan doing 2 hours before he switches to Alif. And both of them are seriously good drivers.
That is in the middle of the pack. That is P5. Luis Moreno is in that group as well. Some seriously good races there. Up at the front, though, these are the front 2, and they've pulled their last lap was a 1:55.2. A 1:55.2 from Andy Lawrenson. And Marco Wong was pushing him. And Marco Wong suddenly finds himself 1 second down on Andy Lawrenson, who is steaming away at the front.
Yeah, wow. Okay, so that... I mean, I'm not surprised to see that gap growing out, because I think Wong did a great job in the first lap to get up to P2. Not sure he's got the pace, though, to stick with Lawrenson. Lawrenson's seriously quick. I mean, in the practice races, this 911 Laundry House car is very quick, and Yeah, he's going to be hard to beat. Oh, he's loving this though. Look at the gap. It's not just in front of Wong, it's in front of all his championship rivals as well.
So that is the battle for P1 and P2 as they come towards the end of lap number 2 as far as they are concerned. Well, they've got this long straight up the hill, then they'll hit the chicane. The lap times are a 1:55.2 is 0.8 of a second than anybody else on the circuit. Andy Lawrenson is really dragging everybody else through at a super quick speed as he just changes down. Car 911 Laundry House, Andy Lawrenson, and that one is again a 1:55. He has taken over a second in the last 2 laps off Marco Wong in P2 and Yatlam Law in P3. Well, Yatlam Law is chasing Marco Wong, and that is a fine little chase there. 4 cars in quick succession. Bakita has lost another place, Alex Young.
Wow, so Bakita just all out of sorts right now. But look at Law. You know, you're right. He's closing down the gap to Marco. But look, Marlana there in the Motul Legion of Racers car. He's just waiting to pounce. There's so much pace in Dika Rama. It's, definitely one of the best drivers in Asia Pacific, and it's really good to watch this. Law from Hong Kong, Milana from Indonesia, and that's a second JMX Phantom car is there, isn't it?
That's Avila Bahar. Bahar in P5 at the moment. Bakita in P6. Now sometimes you feel that if they're competing, it can cost you time, but this looks more like a peloton where they're helping each other, and Law is dragging the others around and able to get closer to Marco Wong. Behind them, Nigel Chua in P7. He's leading Lee Kane Long and Luis Moreno and Kalen Chin and Nakib Aslan. Oh, there's a bit of a gap after Lee to Luis Moreno. There they go through. So we've got 4 racers within a race in the top 6 because Miko Nasi is looking to be competitive as Nakib goes wide, and Nakib Aslan will lose a place there, I feel, to Miko Nasi.
Yeah, he tried to outbrake a Chin so he could go around the outside and then could be on the inside for turn 11.
Just held on.
Did not work. But let's stay on board with Chin and just see how he's doing. Because, Kalen Chin there, he's under a lot of pressure right now. Both, I think, Moreno and Chin are holding up the Stratos Motorsports cars. Oh, Moreno gets it sideways. Oh, and look at that. Nakib's gone down the inside. He's gone down the inside of Kalen Chin. Kalen giving him some space, but they're going to be side by side as they come out out of the last corner, and Nakib now makes a position.
So that's 2 aggressive moves by Nakib, but Kalen Chin, I tell you, he is right in the slipstream and he wants to maybe go around the outside. Is he big enough? Is he strong enough? He's certainly brave enough, but not quite good enough. Indeed, he might lose a place to Miko Nasi. Bit of contact as Nasi is pushed out. Miko Nasi loses a place to Kalen Chin, and Randitya goes through ahead of Miko Nasi. Wow, real scrapping going on. 3 hours, 50 minutes to go, fellas. Look at Nasi. Raditya is forced off by Miko Nasi.
That's the Bineka car, I think, of Hundamo. Wow, disaster. Just had contact with Miko Nasi and that, put him in the barrier. Oh, such a shame.
Well, do we have the instant replay?
We do, but I'm not sure if I want to press it because it kind of delays for a really long time.
Okay, let's not press it. Let's not risk it just now. Let's go to the front, and Andy Lawrenson is leading the way by, gosh, a country mile. Yes, we've only had 10 minutes of 4 hours, but his lap times, Alex, his last lap a 1:55.0. He's getting quicker. 1:55.0. Marco Wong a 1:55.6, and he's losing out. Yatlam Law a 1:55.5 last time out, but a 1:55.0 from this man Andy Lawrenson.
Yeah.
And let's see what he is on this occasion. He's coming into the home straight once again. 1:55.6, 1:55.4, 1:55.0, and he adds a 1:54.9.
Wow, that's super quick. No one's living with Lawrenson right now. Laundry House have come to this race super prepared. He's 5th in the championship right now. We mentioned that they should have won 1 race already this season. So they got it all to do, and you can see they've come into this race really very well prepared. Both cars very quick, although Bakita made that mistake and she's now down in 5th position.
Okay, so there is the race leader, Andy Lawrence, and we're going to spend a lot of time on him. It is early days, and Team Laundry House, more than any other team, I think, will know that a good start does not necessitate a good final position at the end of 4 hours, but they've made a really good start. And he's looking very composed, looking very controlled.
Yeah, he is indeed. Let's go look further back, see how Marco Wong's doing, whether Law is caught up to the back of him. Oh, no, he's not. He's actually, he's just a bit of a gap. He's not really closing the gap to Lawrence and going backwards a bit. But Law in 3rd position, that train of cars in 3rd position are just not closing down. There he is. That's Law. Still got Milana and Bakita all over the back of him. And you just feel that Milan and Bakita can get past Law. I think they'll have the pace to catch up to Lawrence at the front.
So who have they dropped? Is it Nigel Chua? Oh, Avir Bahar has had a moment. Avir Bahar was in that little group, but Avir, yeah, he's with Nigel Chua. He's dropped down just a little bit. Naqib Aslan is up into P10. So Avir was in the 2nd group. He's now in the 3rd group, behind Nigel Chua. Lawrenson leads the way. And then the 4th group is led by Luis Moreno, although Naqib Aslan has just managed to nip in front of Luis Moreno. So Naqib started in P15, is now up into P9, Naqib Aslan, in the lime green Stratos Motorsport.
Vital, absolutely vital he cleared Moreno, because he was stuck behind Chin Moreno for quite a while. These are the championship leaders, don't forget, and that car 111 did a great job there. So now he's got some clear track in front of him. Let's see if he can close down to the next group. Let's see what the GT4 boys are doing. Yeah. There he is. There he is in the yellow. They changed liveries just for this race. Normally they're in red and white. He's doing a great job to get pole position. He is the round 1 winner. This is the Academy car team he races for. Did not have a good second round, unfortunately. Got caught up in many accidents, so type of time they repaired the car, they were just way behind. So he's got a good lead over 2nd position. 2nd position is Racing Line team of Edward Wong. That's 4 seconds he has over him at the moment. There's a Racing Line car. Good to see that livery. It's my favourite livery on the whole grid, if you ask me. That's a big lead right now. Wow, Bernard is just flying at the moment. But Edward also has a big lead to the guy in 3rd position. Who's in 3rd right now?
Is it Lee?
I think it's Lee, isn't it?
Max Lee. Let's have a look at Max Lee. There is Max Lee.
Wow, he's a long way down.
He's lapping 2:07's just the lap time out on Max Lee. He's got a bit of a lead time ahead of him, but we'll keep knocking back into the GT4s. There's 2 competitions ongoing at the same time. So Bernard Chan leading the way in the Porsche from Wong and Max Lee. That's our first look at him. Lapuz, Wolf, Kelvin Pao, Ivan Damish and Chris Chong and Edwin Wong. Is Edwin Wong out of the race? You know what? He could well be, you know. No, he's still in.
Yeah, he's
still in. Back up at the front, Andy Lawrenson. Nothing's happened to him, but we're now approaching the first of the back markers. This is where it can get interesting. Good news for him is the rain has gone. It was greasy during qualification. The rain has gone. And if you look top right of your screen, you can see that there's no rain scheduled in the next 15 minutes or so, as Lawrenson eases his way past the first of the back markers. His lead, his lap times have come down a little bit. He was 1.5 seconds slower on his last lap than he was on his previous lap.
Oh, wow, so that's so maybe not getting through the traffic just quite as quick, but his competitors behind him will also have to overtake this traffic as well. So that will become an issue later on.
Marco Wong is the man in P2. There is Marco. He's hitting traffic. Getting out of the way of the traffic guys. As they come around the hairpin, bottom right. Marco Wong. We've not come across Marco before this season, have we? It's his first drive, as far as I can recall.
Yep. New driver, Marco Wong. JMX Phantom actually had to replace their driver for this team, and it's working out really well for them. Because originally...
Fadley. Was it Fadley?
No. I'm trying to remember right now.
We'll work on that. We'll recall. But Marco was the man who was setting up a really good time. Yatlam Law is in 3. Pipa Bakida is having gone down to P6. She's got herself back up to P5 now. We're on Yatlam Law. Bakida is there in B6, and Bakida, as they come into the, I always call it the technical part of this circuit. It's the end of the start-finish line, and she has just put in a time of 1:55.6. And Andy Lawrenson at the front is losing ground. Andy Lawrenson at 1:56.8 is being caught up in all of the traffic. Oh, as Bakida Law goes around a couple of back markers.
Yeah, it's getting a bit tough for them. This is where the other skill of GT racing comes in, which is how do you get through traffic in as easy a way as possible without compromising your lap time. And it's a real art to it. And you know, the best drivers do spend a lot of time trying to figure that out.
So there's some of the GT4 drivers. Wolf is leading. That's a good little battle that Wolf has got there. He's in P4. Ahead of them, that's Lapuz. So they've gone past all the GT4 races. The fact that all 4 of those GT4 races were in a big group suggests that that's a good race. But this is now a good race, Alex, because if we look at Marco Wong, Yatlam Law has closed right in on Marco Wong. Yep. This is for P2, and he's dragged Bakida along with him.
Yeah, and sorry, just a quick correction there. It's Marco Wong's not... I got the names mixed up. He's actually driving for Pui Pui Racing.
Yes, okay.
A brand new team.
Yes.
4 drivers. The only team with 4 drivers today. So I wonder if that will compromise them. Unless, of course, all 4 drivers are equally strong. And if that is so, Pui Pui Racing could be in with a shot for finishing on the podium.
My apologies. I just saw the bronze and thought JMX. It's my apologies on that. I should have picked you up ages ago. But Marco wrong. Pui Pui Racing. The clue is in the name, bottom right of the screen.
Yes. I should look at that next time, shouldn't we?
Watch screen, watch pictures. Here is Pui Pui Racing. We'll give them multiple mentions. Ooh!
Down the inside. Lucky the back marker saw him and just moved out of the way.
You do worry about that.
Yeah.
I tell you, Marco Wong, having got close to Lawrenson, he's just put in a 1:57.1. It's 0.6 of a second down on Yatlam Law, and Yatlam Law is dragging Bakida as well. Lawrenson hasn't been able to get further away either. Lawrenson is lapping in the high 1:55s now. At one stage, it was in the 1:54s.
Yeah, that's a great shot there. The battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, all in shot right now. Look at Bakida there. And the laundry house car, all over the back of the Wackos Flip Table team. Just feel, he gets a good exit out of here. Maybe, no, not close enough. You really need to be alongside the driver if you're going to make a move into turn 4, because it's such a fast corner. You brake so late. But there is Bakida just all over the back of Law. Good exit out of here, however, and you can overtake into Dunlop. So, and Bakida will be kicking herself as well, because I mean, she really should be in 2nd position right now, but that small mistake earlier on.
Well, there were 2 on the first lap, weren't there? And that seems to have cost her. Dropped down to P6, but here she is in a big battle for P4. You can see in the far distance the sky blue livery of Andy Lawrenson's Laundry House Porsche leading the way. Bakida in P3.
It has a look, not close enough.
You keep saying that's an overtaking. Oh no, not there, was it?
Yeah.
As they come up the hill onto the chicane,
yeah.
That's the moment. Here we are coming up this hill. If they can get the momentum going down and zip through this corner, which you can see the rubber has been left on the circuit. Is Bakida going to have a little dive through? The answer is no.
That BMW is very quick in a straight line, though. We always know how quick the BMW is in a straight line, but. Law, I mean, this year that BMW has really struggled for pace, but now he's there. You gotta feel he's in for a good result.
Well, Yatlam Law, Marco from Pui Pui in 2, Yatlam Law from Wackos Fliptable in P3, and Bakida just loses a little bit of ground in P4. Andika Rama a little bit further back. There's P5. Avir Bahar. There's JMX Phantom. That's the JMX colours that we know all about. Legion of Racers Randika Rama can be quick. He's lapping in the 1:56.5s at the moment. Bahar closed up a full second on that last lap. And if we look at the championship leader, Naki Baslam, he got up into P9 and he's chasing Nigel Troir for P8 here.
So also, don't forget the green car has got 15 kilos of success barrels, so maybe that's compromising the pace, especially on the qualifying laps. But in the race, seems to be good right now. Really, don't even think about going down the inside. It's not really, you can't really overtake into this one. But, you know, Aslan there, Nigel's going to compromise his exit out of this last corner. This corner, sorry, not last corner. But somehow makes it okay. Aslan has got the run on him, but it's not going to be close enough into Dunlop.
Into this famous Dunlop, this right-hand corner. Spectacular hairpin. What's the exit like? It's a good one from Nigel Chua, but Naqib Aslan is in the slipstream and may well fancy this coming down these two longest straights they're about to enter. They come over the brow of the hill. Is Naqib close enough to make a move, Alex? Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet, but you suspect the move is coming. Right-hand corner. Now this is the moment. He's got the slipstream. Naqib Aslan on Nigel Chua. Chua, good pace, good line. And Naqib can't get close enough unless he leaves his braking so late. Decides not to. Gosh, they do leave it late, don't they?
Yeah, very late. Nigel's quick in all the correct bits, so I feel that if Aslan's going to make an overtake, he's going to have to do it in a spot unexpected. Maybe turn 2 or 3 might be a position he can look at it.
This is the battle for P8 that we're watching here. Nigel Chua is the man who is in current possession of that P8 position, and he's driven pretty well under real pressure, but you can see there Naqib is wanting. Naqib's impatient. He doesn't want the race leader Andy Lawrenson to get too far away. Should we just stick with this one to see if Naqib can make a move at any time in the next lap?
Yeah, I think we should. It's championship leader here. He gets good exit out of here, but then into turn 4, not really possible.
Chua and Naqib Aslan. The figure on the right-hand side is the connectivity rate. A low figure is a very good figure. I'm not anticipating problems for the Malaysian or Singaporeans, but Chua, as they come into the into the Dunlop corner once again. This was the famous Schumacher area, wasn't it?
The next one. Schumacher S is coming up.
Here we go.
But yeah, I mean, that corner was very well known in the heyday of being packed with Schumacher fans.
Nigel Chua, we're on board with him. Maybe we ought to just see how close Naqib is. This has been 2-3 laps now where Nigel Chua has probably got as much attention on his back mirror as he has on his front, just to make sure he's not caught out. Now he's got the complication of a back marker, so he's just got to trust that the back marker will get out of the way. Nigel Chua in the black, flashing the lights. You get out of my way, young fella. Naqib has a look as they hit the chicane. Oh, Naqib takes the grass route and will lose a little bit of time there. Well, that's not in the textbook what Naqib did just then.
No, a bit impatient. You have to, but he is running out of patience. So, but he's going to. I think his best chance is when he gets some traffic and try and make a move in traffic.
Okay, so we followed that for the best part of a lap and a half. Naqib was unable to really satisfy us. Andrew Lawrenson is the man who is leading the way. His lap times again. He's now consistently mid 155s. Marco Wong edging just a little bit closer. There is Marco Wong. Wong under pressure from Pippa Bakida. So let's see if Pippa Bakida is able to put pressure on Marco Wong.
Yeah. So off camera, Bakida made a move on Law and made her way past. And Law actually has dropped back a bit. So maybe when they went by, Law losing a bit of time. Bakida then, though, almost back into second position. No, he can't overtake into the Schumacher S's. Small lift here. If she gets good, this Wong runs wide. Gets sideways. Bakida had to lift on the exit, but Wong then moves to the outside and actually lets Bakida through. Probably just decided that the pressure is getting a bit too much. Why don't I just try and settle down and follow Bakida for a while?
Pippa Bakida takes P2. This is where really she should be. So it's a laundry house 1-2. We've had this before in this championship, though. All kinds of problems have beset Laundry House later on in these endurance races, but they were quickest in qualification. They were 1-2 in qualification. They're now 1-2 in the race as well. Bakida in P2 as she comes through into the finish her lap. Her last lap there was a previous lap was a 1:54.6. That's a 1:54.9, but 1:54.6. That's the fastest lap of the race so far by Pippa Bakita. Max Lee is the new leader in the GT4s. So what has happened to Bernard Chan?
I don't know. Where is Bernard Chan? He's just disappeared.
Bernard Chan is down here. Bernard Chan is still racing.
How many laps down is he, though? I think he's still on the same lap, hopefully, which means he still can fight. Or maybe he's just done his... No, he couldn't have done his first pit stop.
Well, we did see a couple of guys go into the pits earlier, at GT4s. I didn't mention it at the time because, well, I didn't. But
well,
Bernard
maybe got a drive-through. But Bernard shouldn't panic anyway. He's showing great pace at the moment. He just needs to close down the gap. If he can keep on with this pace, he might be able to get back to the front before the end of the race.
So that's the GT4 Championship. A quick look there. Back up to the front. Laundry House Endurance. Andy Lawrenson. Last lap of 1:56.1. He was nearly a second slower than Pippa Bakita. And there is traffic. Ian Dinish makes room for Lawrenson to go through. And Bakita goes through as well. She really is an aggressive racer, Pippa Bakita. We saw it on the first lap. She's made a couple of mistakes already. But Lawrenson looked a little bit less composed in that shot, behind the mask anyway.
Yeah, he does look a little bit... he looks very tense, doesn't he? He's looking in the mirrors. You can see him looking in the mirrors, glancing over to the right. He's watching Bakita coming through, and he'll be thinking... Yeah, well, that's a good question, actually. Maybe we should ask him later. Is there any team orders between these two? Because... Wow, I'm sure Bakita wants to get into the lead. You know, the Laundry House have been struggling for results, and they'd really, the absolute worst thing this team could do would be if they took each other out while contesting for the win.
Well, 911 and 90, they're both in with a championship chance. I've got to say that. Laundry House 911, they got a P3 in race number 1, didn't finish race 2, but they're in 5th overall. It's Laundry House team 90 had 7 points from race 1, 8 points from race 2, so they're not too far behind. Yeah. So maybe it's competition within competition. And Bakita is right now on the tail of Andy Lawrenson, and we might not be far away from a change of the lead.
You are absolutely right, Des Corkill. Bakita he just has the pace, the pace under her with this McLaren at the moment, whereas Lawrenson seems to be, maybe the tyres are going off a bit more on the Porsche, but definitely struggling a little bit. GT4 car gets in the way momentarily, but now Bakita's through.
Bakita has made the press in Australia on several occasions. I was researching some of her work, and she's a fine esports competitor. And here she's showing exactly that competition on the tail end of Andy Lawrenson. Andy Lawrenson is leading the way in the Porsche, but it's the McLaren of Pippa Bakita in P2. Can't quite get close enough here, but there is more traffic which will hold you up, just because Lawrenson has to take a slightly different line, even if the guys move out of the way, which they are doing.
Yeah, oops,
got to go round the outside, don't you?
Yeah, back marker holds both of them up a tiny bit.
Kelvin Powell was on that occasion.
And it's the same for now.
Won't be close enough here, Bakita, as they come up the hill. Fabulous. And then they'll come back around the corner. There's the pit lane. We've seen a couple go in. Maybe it was a drive-through penalty that we saw before. But as they come through, it is Lawrenson from Laundry House, from Bakita in Laundry House. Not quite close enough yet. But Lawrenson, a 1:56.1. Bakita, 1:56.1. So they are going wheel to wheel.
They are indeed. Through turn 1, though, looking good. Oh, it's like they're linked together by a piece of string. If I was Bakita, while I want to snatch the lead, you always got to weigh out the risks, you know. If this is the last hour, yeah, okay, definitely, let's go for it. But, you know, you said it many times before, Des, you can't win the race in the first hour.
Yeah.
But you can lose it. And Bakita's already made a mistake on that opening lap, so I think it should be quite nice for her just to sit there. Okay, yes, if Lawrenson gets held up by traffic, then, you know, go for it. But don't try and manufacture a move out of nowhere and risk having contact with your teammate.
Okay, so that little battle looks like Bakita's just backed off a little bit. Marco Wong from eRacing. Let's name them again because we didn't in the first half hour. eRacing for Marco Wong. I think we're up to speed now. But Marco Wong is under pressure from Yat Lam Law. And Yat Lam Law, well, Marco, at one stage, Marco was the man who was really competing with Andy Lawrenson. Now he's in danger of going back into P4 because Law is lapping 157s. Best lap of 155.3. Again, this is another piece of string between these two racers.
Absolutely. But this, I love this angle right now because I'm seeing Law. Yeah, the BMW is quite quick on a straight. Yes, he's got the slipstream, but he's really closing in now on that Merc, but just running out of straight to do it. But you just got to feel that, okay, if Law can just nail that last corner onto the straight, he'll have a chance. But the McLaren's going to get held up by the BMW, dives down the inside, both cars. Okay, this is a chance for Law to get a really good exit out of the last corner because the guy he's fighting had a small hiccup, and yeah, he's close enough. He's going to get the slipstream now. The BMW top speed is looking good. He's going to look to the inside. Will Wong defend? Yes, Wong defends late, but he doesn't defend all the way. Ooh, that was a real late move, but just enough space for Law to sneak through.
Or is there? Because Marco Wong has got it back in. Law broke too late, went too wide, and Marco Wong did the switchback and got himself back into P3. But that's how competitive it is. There's still a long way to go, but that was the battle for P3. Nice and polite, no contact. Let's have a look at the GT4s. Max Lee is behind Chaking Wong. So Wong is the new race leader. So beyond them, so Wong from Kamachi Racing. He has just taken over his teammate Max Lee. So that's the 1-2 in GT4. And again, these are two new names, and it's a new racing team. Again, Kamachi Racing. Am I right in saying that that's a new race, a new team?
New team. So they're having a great first race. Ooh, watch the as they get lapped. Yep, leave them a lot of space. Nicely done. But yeah, they're doing a really good job in position first and second. And
a third newcomer, as far as we're concerned, Andreas Wolf in the Hold My Beer Racing. That gets the award for best name, if least appropriate. And looking good in P3 for him. Behind Andreas Wolf, you've got Kelvin in the easy-to-spot light purple, Zephyron Racing. Kelvin racing out of Malaysia. This is the GT4 as Iman Danish from Hyperbuilt's team. Again, they've got to race two ways, don't they? They've got to be aware of the drivers coming through as Alexis Lopano goes through ahead of Iman Danish, who's in 38th position. Edwin Wong is below them. Where is Edwin on my leaderboard? P45. Something strange happening with Bernard Chan because he's 42nd here, but he's struggling. I'm not quite sure whether or not this is a true reflection of where Bernard Chan is as he gets out of the way of Avilia Bahar.
Yeah, so he does lap 21. At least he's still in the same lap as the leaders.
My apologies, I missed the change of lead, Alex. My apologies. Bakita now has the lead.
Where's Lawrenson? Okay, phew. For a minute there, I thought Bakita had gone through and Lawrenson had disappeared, but Lawrenson's still there in P2. So Bakita, wow, the McLaren again showing great pace, the same sort of pace we saw in round one. You know, has a mistake, drops back, and still has enough pace in hand to catch back and take the lead.
So Pippa Bakita, having worked her way through from P6. So what time was that? That was around about 20 minutes ago. So she's worked her way from P6 to P1 in double quick time. That really is impressive because Andy Lawrenson, although he's slowed down a wee bit, at one stage he was in the high 154s, low 155s. He's now in the 156s. But Bakita has regularly been 2-3 tenths of a second faster, and now she has the lead. Marco Wong in P3, still holding off Yat Lam Law. Avia Bahar in P5 in isolation. Behind them, you can see Lee Kin Kong. Behind them, Andika Rama and Nakib. Gosh, I'm missing all the action. Nakib Aslan eventually has got ahead of Nigel Trott.
Wow, so finally back into clean air. He's got a lot of time to make up though, but he'll be keen to get back. Obviously, he's got to make some time. He's good 2 seconds down on Andika Rama.
He's looking pretty composed, but that's...
More than 2 seconds, actually. I'm not sure how much it is. Well, the length of the straight, shall we say. It's the length of the straight down on the Legion of Racers car.
Let's move off. There is Marco. No, he's gone past. He's staying out there. So they've got to make a move, what, within 75 minutes? Is that right?
That's right. So that's 3 hours, 1 minute to go. Everyone has to pit before 2 hours, 45 minutes. There is a maximum stint time for these drivers, and it's 75 minutes. So obviously the faster guys will try and stay out as long as they can. Oh, there we go. Andika Rama's in the pit lane.
Andika Rama moves into the pit lane. Lee King Kong.
King Long Lee, yep. King Long Lee's coming by me right now. I'm actually standing by near where my pit stall is, and I can see he's coming in, but there might be concern whether he can actually swap drivers because he's not in the car that he's registered the number with. Jacks are coming up. Looks like the car is in the pits, but maybe it's a sign that Lee's going to go all the way for the 4 hours because Jonathan Wong is not going to come into that car.
Right, yeah, such a shame. This seems to be a bit buggy with ATC. Sometimes it gives the wrong number to the drivers, to the teams. So he's now stuck in 970. This is the car. I think this is the car that's, yes, it's fourth in the championship, third in the championship. So this will be a pit stop. I don't think he's doing a driver change now, but we'll have to see later on.
A 4 hour stint potentially on for Lee Kin Long. How does that affect the rules as Andika Rama is already in there? We'll worry about Lee in just a moment as he goes out. Pakida has stayed out. She is still out and she is still leading the way. You'd expect her to go as long into her stint as she possibly can, Alex. Or will she want new tyres?
Yeah, that's a good point. Everyone has to stop 3 times anyway. So, you know, as long as you're within that, roughly within 15 minutes or 15 minutes before or after the hour mark, you should be able to do 3 stops, no problem. But Pakida's going well right now. She's pushing hard and it's going fine. So I would try and do a longer stint. As his teammate, Andrew Lawrenson, comes to the pit lane.
As does Marco Wong. Ammo? Yeah.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt there, guys, but King Long Lee just got a drive-through for speeding in the pit lane. So if you see a stop-and-go penalty 30, that was the reason why. So he might have actually misjudged the entry of the pit lane as more of the weight cost cars comes in, but one of them is having a drive-through. Sorry, stop-and-go.
There is Lo Yat Lam. Whether or not he's the man who gets it. Russell Reyes is also into the pit lane. So out on the circuit, Pakida leads. Avia Bahar will move into P2. As Russell Reyes is there, there is Pakida. We are into our second hour of racing. It's a 4 hour. We're on the helicam shot. It's a beautiful shot around the Nurburgring. The track conditions still optimum. 31 degrees as she takes this bottom right hand corner. Andy Lawrenson is back out of the pits now. Oh no, still in the pits. Terry Rayton is taking over from Andy Lawrenson. So a driver change for the second hour. Fascinating. We were expecting perhaps 2 hour stints, but Terry Rayton is the new driver in car 911.
Okay, so then we got Philippa Pakida. She's still on track. I wonder if she's going to come in now. She's doing good laps. The last lap actually 56.5. That's pretty good, all things considering. I think she has some traffic, obviously, as well.
No traffic now, though. So she might decide to stay out 1 more, 2 more laps. If there's no traffic and you're posting quick lap times, yep, absolutely staying out there. Let's maximize the lead, take as much of an advantage into the pit lane as she possibly can. Second out on the circuit is Avia Bahar. Avia Bahar from JMX Phantom. But he's only just coming through the end of that lap now. He's a long way down. But P2 at the moment, and it means Naqib Aslan is up into P3 for Stratos Motorsports. But remember, no pit stop so far for Naqib. Haris Shami has got himself up into P4. And Nabil Aslan in car 333, the third of the Stratos Motorsports, is up into the P3. So the next thing for us to really monitor is when the pit stops are going to happen. Bakida certainly hasn't taken hers. Naqib, he decides not to take his either.
Oh, car 333 also got a drive-through, and that's given by race control. So maybe there's an incident somewhere as King Long Lee came to the pits just now. He's cleared his stop and go. So that's not really good for him because he's going to drive the whole 4 hours, and having an extra pit stop in mind for him by virtue of speeding in the pit lane may not be doing good for him. He's going to have to go through that again as Harry's also coming to the pit. So the later drivers now cycling through their pit stop cycles about 1 hour in, actually.
Thanks for Ammo, who's in the pit lane. But Ammo, when are you taking over in a moment?
No, I'm going to take over for the last hour or so because Ayman already has pitted twice. One is for the incident at the start of the race, and one is for a proper scheduled pit stop. So I'll definitely still be in the pit lane for now for the next hour or two.
Okay. So it's we'll stick with you for a while. Are you seeing the overall feed, or are you just seeing the pit lane feed?
I'm in the pit lane feed, so I'm following the action as you guys are saying it. So yeah, I can clearly see what's happening. I'm cycling through the pit stops here and looking at the live timing and also the screens in the pit lane right now, and I can see plenty of drivers coming, including Afiq, and he has just changed over to Calvin De Singh. So car 79, there's a new car coming in. Plenty of other drivers as well, including GT4 cars, the former leader of Bernard Chan, he's in as well, and Paul Faustino. So plenty of drivers, I think, have cycled through the first round of pit stops, and I can see Bakita's in. So Bakita's in now.
Yeah, we've got sight of Bakita. She is in the pit lane. So whether or not they are going to change drivers as well during this pit stop, we will stick with Pippa Bakita. Race leader, or she was, Avia Bahar will become the temporary race leader. So Bakita, are they going to change, do you reckon, Bakita, or is she going to go for a 2-hour stint?
I think she might go for the 2 hours because she's looking good right now. It did overtake the race leading number 911, which is also their teammate in a different car. Waiting right now because they are actually going through the pit stop here. I'm not seeing a driver change, so I think Bakita's going to go for a double stint.
So Bakita.
No, it's Houlihan. Houlihan's taking over.
Okay. There you go. Ryan Houlihan takes over. So, interesting tactics from both laundry house teams. 1 hour stints. Now then, this transition, it can be very difficult because the expectation levels are high. Bakita got into the lead. Suddenly, Houlihan has to compete and maintain that lead, and we've seen him fall off in exactly the same position.
Yeah, indeed, and the fact that it might be a change of personnel, but the race pace might still be strong between these two. It doesn't matter of whether or not car 90 or 911 is leading, so it's a matter of how they can make a difference here, these second drivers.
2 hours 54. Bahar stays out. This is the race leader out on the circuit. Avia Bahar, JMX Phantom. Last lap of 155.7, which is very, very close to his best lap. So he's probably best staying out there as long as he can. They've got to pit before the 2:45 mark. And if they are lapping around about the 2-minute mark, then he just needs to make sure that he gets it right. But this time, actually, Avia Bahar decides to come in. So Avia Bahar becomes the latest to enter the pit lane. The race leader, Naqib Aslan. He is the man who is out there. Will Naqib try to take the option to stay out? Indeed, Naqib Aslan does. Remember, they started in P15. There's traffic as he comes into the home straight. But Naqib Aslan is the new race leader. Although, as we say, he is yet to pit. But he started this race, Amo Hazik, in P15, Naqib Aslan.
Yeah, that's a remarkable job that he's actually done to actually climb all the way up to the top 5 right now. And he has done so pretty much with some of the gutsy overtaking that we're kind of accustomed to. So he's made his chances count, even though he knows it's an endurance race. He just wants to make that position up quickly. And unfortunately, unlike our car where we just got hit in that first lap, we tried to make up ground, but unfortunately an incident just took us out. So Naqib has been both aggressive and lucky that he's actually got up here. So he's one to watch out for the rest of the race.
We are talking with Amo Hazik, who will be later on involved in the race. Ayman Hazik has actually dropped down into P31 while we've been talking. It's just a case of damage limitation after an early incident for Blue Steel Racing, but just try to get up as high up as you possibly can. The race leader is, well, Avia Bahar is out, so Naqib Aslan, is the race leader. How do you reckon Naqib will just keep on going as long as he possibly can, Amo? Another 2 laps, perhaps?
I mean, for sure, yeah. He can actually just stretch out as long as he can because the Ferrari is known to have very good fuel economy if you were to select the proper fuel mode. And right now, at least, it's looking good right now with he can extend the gap ahead of Houlihan. and in this case, Rayton now taking over. So we'll have to wait and see first. He can still come up behind him, but it'll be much closer by the time he actually completes his stop.
His last lap was a 1:56.382. We are on board with the race leader, Naqib Aslan. Ryan Houlihan from Laundry Racing is in P2, but they have made their change. Luis Moreno is out there as well. Now then, we're seeing Alif Hamilton top right of our screen. It looks like he's poised and ready to come into the race at any stage soon.
And that soon, maybe rather than soon. I mean, literally soon, like when he comes to the pits, he's going to be ready. So, yeah, Naqib has done an absolutely brilliant job in the stint so far. He's going to try to hand it over in a car that's pretty much in pristine condition here to his teammate, who's more than capable of bringing that car up. So, we'll have to wait and see if they were to do double stints. But right now, the pattern is, if there's any indicator of what the other teams have been doing, I think they're going to swap drivers.
Okay, so that's the potential. Naqib, we're keeping an eye on him to see if he is staying out. Again, we've got to emphasize that they must pit before the 2:45 mark. But there is the race leader, Naqib Aslam. Ryan Houlihan in P2. Terry Rayton 3. Loyat Lam in 4. Sky Lai got himself up into P5 from PP Racing. So Sky Lai has taken over from Marco Wong, and that was a great job that Marco and Sky Lai have put together, the Macau team.
Absolutely, and it's in a car that, despite not having its own livery and in the very ad hoc name, because if anyone knows Pui Pui Mocha, that's actually an anime that's in Japan, so they decided to use that name as for their team. But so far, despite the joke name, the performance is no joke.
We know Sky Lai, we know he's raced. Marco Wong is a new name to me and to Alex anyway. Have you competed against Marco? Because that was a terrific stint that he put in.
I think Marco is one of the GT Sport drivers. I could confuse him for Jonathan Wong because he's also one of those guys that compete in the World Finals. But yeah, the Hong Kong guys are really good in their sim racing. They love touring cars. They love GT racing. This is for them. No surprise if they could perform well.
Well, his lap times haven't depreciated considerably. A 1:55.998 on his penultimate lap. This must be his last lap before he comes in. Ryan Houlihan behind them. He is lapping 1:56.5s and Terry Rayton 1:56.1. So they haven't come out firing on all cylinders. Although obviously with a fuel tank, it's a bit heavier, more weight for them to carry.
Indeed, and in fact, most of these guys, even if they are in cars that can save fuel very well, they want to actually minimize the stint out on track. So they'll try to fuel up a lot, but at the same time, they'll try to fuel save. So by the time they come in for their next stop, they don't have to top up too much. As I saw 2 Stratos cars coming in, Mikonasi was one of them, and I saw an Aslan, but it was Nabil Aslan, car 333. So it's not the Aslan that we're looking for that's coming to the pits at the moment.
So Stratos have decided to keep the stint times as long as they possibly can because these conditions are optimum. This time, Naqib has stayed out. No, he hasn't. Oh. He's dived in at the very, very, very last second. And he's just got to be careful that he doesn't exceed pit lane limits. But Naqib Aslan is now in the pit, Samo. Take it from there.
Yep, he's coming in right now. Steady as she goes, and he doesn't want to end up like a few of his teammates already because 3 Stratos cars, by my counts, have actually gotten drive stop and goes for exceeding pit lane limits. Now then, Nabil comes in, waiting for the time to change at the moment because I can't see any activity in terms of whether or not the name has changed yet. So we'll have to wait and see because it's average 30 seconds. And the car looks good right now. I don't see any visible damage apart from a lot of dirt because rubber gets kicked up, and realistically we have in ACC here rubber deposits stuck on the car, so you can see it look a bit more grayish than usual once they've actually finished the race actually. Okay, we
had an inset of Alif Hamilton. I'm not sure whether or not Alif is going to take over from Naqib. It was a 1 hour 15, so no, Alif is just sitting there. Or is he in? Is he in?
No, it's the Naqib. So Naqib is staying. Yeah, he's staying for another stint.
Okay, so Naqib going for the 2 hours plus, and then say to Alif, take me home.
Country roads, although we're not in we're in Nurburgring rather than West Virginia.
Mine was a Welsh Euro reference, but not bad. I take me home. Ryan Houlihan is currently in P2. Actually, is he the new race leader? No, he's not. He wasn't. Yes, he is. Ryan Houlihan is the race leader. So, Team Laundry House, car number 90, leading from Terry Rayton, car number 911. These Aussies, Ammo, they're very, very competitive. They've had some wretched luck so far in this endurance season, but in every race, they've been at the top for long, long periods of time.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say that their luck is much better than car number 401 to be involved in 2 straight incidents in a row. 3 if you include the missed race last month. So, yeah, these guys just absolutely nail it. They look like a team that really like to joke around, but when they are really serious, they're absolutely serious. And to see them 1-2 at the start of the race is just testament to how good they are. And to prove it, the point of even more, they also compete competitively in the SRO GT series. So these guys are no slouches, that's for sure.
Okay, let's take a break right now while I know this is heating up. We'll come back to this battle in a sec. Let's just have a look at the leaderboard at the moment, Ammo.
Yep, let's go.
Will you take us through it?
Well, unfortunately, I cannot see that clearly, but I think now I can see my own from my own screen. So Houlihan and Bokida, car number 90 for McLaren in the Laundry House team, leading the way by almost about 15 seconds ahead of their sister car, Terry Rayton and Andy Lawrenson in car 911 in the Porsche. Then third place is Yat Lam Law with Jason Mock in car number 939, the Waycross team. Fourth is Sky Lai, driving right now for Pui Pui Racing in the car 69. And behind them is that battle between 4th and 5th in the second of the McLarens, Avila Baha, third of the McLarens, in fact, in the top 5. And the rest of it includes the 889 Mercedes, currently driven by Andika Rama Maulana for Legion Races, being closely pursued by Nakib Azlan in the Stratos number 111. Number 49, Ivan Anasdas and Nigel Chua in 8th place. 9th is Lance Gubler and Rosa Reyes in the VRS Racing number 2 Bentley. And 10th place is Calvin De Singh and Mohammad Afiq in the number 79 for McLaren. So that's 4 McLarens in the top 10 as we go for a short commercial break. Hello, welcome back to ERGP Endurance Edition, round 3 here in the 2021 season. My name is Ame Azik. Alongside me now is Kian Butler as we take over for the next 45 minutes until hour number 3, the end of hour number 3 here for the Endurance Edition round 3 at the Nurburgring. So, Kian, welcome to the commentary box. How are you enjoying the race so far?
It's been a good one to watch so far. Lots of action up and down the field, and it's it's been great to see the different cars, the slightly different strategies, the mishaps that happen here and there. But overall, a good race so far here at the Nurburgring. Indeed, and
who are you rooting for right now? No, of course, you have to be shy about showing who you support.
Well, I'm gonna say in that battle between Milana and Aslan, I'm probably on Aslan's side of things just because I do some races with him here and there. So let's go.
Let's go. So right now, then they have actually gotten ahead of Andika by virtue of the fact that Andika came into the pits. Now he's actually handed it over to Moreno Pratama. So that's the first driver spot for that particular crew. He did a double stint on that one. Now let's see what Pratama can do, because we know his pace is pretty much aligned with Andika. So this car might be the one to watch out for once the driver changes are shuffled through.
Yeah, Pratama coming through the Schumacher S's now through the left and right hand. You can see that these drivers try and take a lot of curb, which is definitely what you want to do. There is the potential possibility of taking a little bit too much curb and just spinning the car a little bit, but that hasn't seemed to happen too much yet. These drivers have been on the ragged edge for the last 2 hours now as he comes up behind Matrillo, getting ready to lap that GT4 car. And I know you do a little bit of racing, don't you, Emma?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And we did a bit of the practice races here for Nurburgring. Only half capacity at that point, and I was hoping that our car number 401 was not involved in accidents, but I guess our luck ran out at the same corner that we did in the previous round 3 race, where remember we had that server problem. We also got taken on that particular same corner, so yeah. Now it's just a case of recovering now back up to hopefully the top 15 to get, as Alex mentioned, points. But anyhow, that's not about me right now or my crew. We're talking about the rest of the race, and judging by how this guy's going, this particular crew, Ryan Houlihan and Filippo Bakida, they are absolutely monstering it in front of the field. In fact, it's an Aussie one too. Something that probably bring us light in your eye, I think, Kian.
Yep, Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. These two drivers, these two teams are doing a great job so far carrying the red, white, and blue flag, or the blue, white, and red flag. But there's a lot of countries that have blue, white, and red. So let's see if any of the other ones that have those colors can mount a challenge today.
Yep, and including the likes of Lam Lo is from Hong Kong, so it's all red anyway. Skylight as well. I mean, if we're talking about the flight color game, it's all red and white up there at least, with a dash of blue for first and second.
Yeah, I know we have the Nations Championship in the eRGP main series, but maybe we should have a colors championship for the flags as well. That would be interesting.
I mean, we're talking about national colors. Yeah, I mean, Australia's yellow and green. Malaysia's about white and yellow. So that might be a bit confusing for some if we play the Nations League. But bear with us. That actually has been the point of racing for so many years prior to sponsorship coming into the board.
Yeah, of course. Now, I think this might be a little bit interesting while we have a bit of a lull while some drivers are on different strategies, you know, overcuts, undercuts. Talk us through how you yourself are prepared coming into this weekend with your team.
Basically, we've also done about 3 practice races. All of us are participating in that one. Some teams participated more than others, but for us personally, we just tried to actually work out a strategy. The game plan is do 1 hour and 15, come in and try to do the next one, minimize the amount of fuel you can use per stint. But as you know, I did mention just now, car 401 did get involved in an incident. That stint time had to be reset, and we had to pay for damage. So it has really compromised our race as we look at the incident. Oh, big accident! Oh. The Kamachi car goes into the entrance of the Nordschleife. Ayman Hazi actually went through that unscathed. He got involved with one of the BRS cars. As now, he's actually trying to hold off the advances of Miko Nasi, but I think Nasi's going to go through right now, as that's the Kamachi car. It's Tang, actually. So the race-leading GT4 car got involved in that massive hit. Luckily, he didn't get collected by anybody else.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate there. We have Hazik, we have Nasi, and we have Lee now. Nasi has gotten past Lee, but wow, that was some interesting action going into turn 1, and a bit of a kerfuffle going into the final corner of the lap. As another spin now in turn 1 for a GT4 car. Not good days for them.
And that's the race-leading car, mind you, so Carson Tang then has to get the car back in running order, otherwise he might be overtaken by his teammate running in second right now. That was not what they wanted. Yes, they are a lap ahead. They might be involved in collisions at the start of the race, but any more damage to that car, and it might be really serious, because once you get really a certain amount of damage, like a minute and 15, you're going to get the meatball flag, which is the red and orange flag, and you're going to have to come in within those 3 laps. So any more damage to that car, it would be very serious.
Yep. Currently 9.5 seconds separating the GT4 leader to his closest competition, doing a good job so far of bringing this through the halfway mark, as he is looking to get lapped now. Through the inside goes Clapano in the Ferrari of Chan, and down into the good old roundabout, as I like to call it, because it has so much banking. It's so much fun to go through right before the Schumacher S. Is such an important corner for the second half of the track, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, indeed. And the fact that you can either take it here second or first gear, depending on what car and what class as well. But I think second gear is the best way to come out of it. If you get that launch right, you can actually get the car really set up well through the Schumacher S's. You don't really have to use the cover the inside if you have enough momentum. Try to avoid the sand pit on the outside there, because you can easily spin it. In fact, we already had one car spinning, and that was Daryl Brady in the Ferrari, number 3 for Sim Racing Filipina. So that's the only casualty right now, as Ayman comes to the pits, presumably to actually hand it over to Sim Kai Wen before I'll be taking over for the last hour of the race. He comes in well, and there we go. He's into the pits, and he has been lapped again by Ryan Houlihan.
Houlihan on an absolute storm in that McLaren. We know the McLaren is a good car around these kind of handling tracks. It tends to lack the top end a little bit, but you know, when you can just set the car out in front compared to the other ones and just lap away, it's not really that big of a difference.
Oh, someone off at the first corner there. I'm seeing it from the spectator's vantage point. I'm actually sitting on top in-game right now on the hospitality paddock, and I see car number 999. That's actually one of the Waycross cars. He's gone up big time. So is he still there? I think he is. In fact, I can see just about from this angle, he's still stuck there. So whatever happened to the 999 car, it's actually stopped. It's Carson Tang. He's actually stopped it there. So what happened to Carson? He's not moving right now, and it looks probably terminal. Or is it?
Oh, there we go. He's got a bit of movement going on now as he tries to get the car out of the gravel trap. I'm not sure what's happened here. He's not moving again. Do you think he might have stalled the car? I mean, you can't restart it. It doesn't look too damaged either, the car. I'm not sure what's going on here.
Yeah, I can see just about from the outside at least. Visually, the car looks fine. and you can't get cars beached in ACC actually. If you can actually do that in either iRacing or Race Room, but I think that car might have suffered an absolutely massive hit somewhere out on track. So I'll probably look at the replay right now on my own screen to see what happened here. But that's a huge loss for car 999 because that's one of the main contenders for the top 10 in the championship. So disaster there for the Waycars team.
You know what I think it could be? If there's just like the slightest chance that these guys got going again, and as I say that, they get going again. So what might have happened there potentially is either a wheel disconnect or a screen blackout, because I've had both of those in the last race I had. It wasn't the greatest thing in the world, but you know, you have to kind of pull off to the side of the track and get going again. Immediately, they seem to be going pretty close to the pace. We'll see how they go these first couple of corners. Either tires are cold or they're limping some damage. But yeah, I think it might have been a hardware issue on their end.
I think you're right, Kian, because it looks like he didn't hit the wall at all. The car just came to a grinding halt just before the barriers and just stayed there. And he can probably restart the car just now as trying to look for the replay. What happened to car 999? I'm looking at my own screen. Maybe you're right. It is actually might have been just a hardware issue.
Yeah, that's one of the horrible things about sim racing. You know, there's so many things that can go wrong in real life, but there are so many more things that can happen in your own bedroom, in your sim. You know, the occasional press of the HDMI cable with your braking pedal, taking the wheel a little bit too hard and just jostling the power cord loose a little bit. You know, all these little things can happen, and you got to prepare the best you can to make sure they don't. But looks like Tang was just caught out today.
Indeed, and I'm looking at the replay right now. Yep, it was a massive hit in the wall after he just came out of the pit. So it might have been a screen problem, yeah, as you might say, or a highway issue. But whatever it is, it's a massive hit, and that car is now going to be well and truly a few laps behind because it was a head-on hit into the barriers, you know. So car might be absolutely terminal.
Yeah, that's unfortunate then for the Waco's look table car. As we're on board with Ryan Houlihan again, as he's coming through into Sector 3 on the track, through the Warsteiner curve right now. Getting ready to go into Advenborgen. He's got a couple of cars ahead that he's going to have to clear, but, you know, as a driver who's so far ahead, 21 seconds ahead of his closest competition, which is, man, mind you, his teammate, I believe. You know, it's going pretty well. So, as you see a car Tang actually dart into the pit, sir. Why don't you take us around the lap with Houlihan?
Yeah, but before that, Waycars actually come out and said it was a loss in brake axis assignment, so he actually had no brakes when he came to the corner. So no wonder the car went straight to barriers. Anyway, we'll go on back to that as we now take a lap around the Nurburgring, the GP Strecker layout, as opposed to the normal Nordschleife layout. Houlihan comes out to the Yokohama SS. Clear as you like. A bit slower than usual because he's got about 4 or 5 cars. In fact, one car has actually gone off the track. That's actually a GT4 car. Coming through the Mercedes-Benz arena, named aptly because there is a sponsorship from Mercedes-Benz right up there. Although we are seeing a Mercedes in between there, so a bit of a plug. Out of there, you can actually get a bit of a warning here for running wide. So luckily, Houlihan stays within the lines. Then up to turn 5 and 6 is a bit reminiscent of the old Nordschleife Gesamtstrecke, where they combined the Nordschleife and the Nürburgring. This is actually one of the original parts of the circuit that has been maintained from the old layout. Then up to the Dunlop hairpin. It's not much of a hairpin, but it is a big, wide, parabolic turn almost, as they now come on. Look at that, 5 cars in a row, and I think some of these cars are actually battling for position. Yeah, in fact, they are. So it might be close here between these 4, as Houlihan now tries to negotiate them. Coming up to the Marcus Schumacher SS. He can actually take it almost flat as, a bit wide onto the AstroTurf there. He has to go a bit off the throttle to actually save that, and he's flashing the cars right in front of him right now. I think that is, who's that? Actually, my screen's a bit blurry right now. Car 333, I think? Or is it 555?
It's Iman.
Oh, it's Troy. Okay, so Troy Iman. Coming through now, coming to the last sector, through the Warsteiner curve, up at Van Borgen, and then up to what they call the Vidor chicane, or in this case, nowadays is the NGK chicane, as he goes onto the inside Iman, and he has a GT4 car in between. Basically, if there was no traffic here, he will almost take it flat as another driver gets a drive-through there. Mercedes car in the GT3 class. More cars going off onto the entry into the last corner. But Houlihan negotiated him safely as he now comes across the line here to complete a lap of the Nürburgring. The GP track.
Yeah, perhaps not the hot lap we were hoping for, but a traffic jam of the century up ahead. Wow, what was that? Like, I think 7, 8 cars going into the last sector? That was absolutely congested, crazy madness.
It's almost like basically every major city in the world in one go in that particular moment. As now, as we now come into the next cycle of pit stops, as first of the front runners coming in is Terry Rayton in car 911. So will he pass it to his teammate Andrew Lawrence, or is he going to go again? So it'll be interesting to see whether or not he's going to change it. But I think Rayton might actually hand it over to Lawrence because he's losing so much time here in regards to the race leader.
Yeah, it's unfortunate though, but I mean, bringing home a 1-2 for Laundry House would be the goal. But yeah, Valor now, who is about 3 seconds according to the timing board behind Racing, although he has stayed out, so I'm not sure that's completely accurate to be honest. But Aslan in P4, you have Singh in P5, Pratama in P6. So yeah, I mean, up the front, there's not too much going on. I say that. I think my timing screen's a little bit broken because it's saying Pratama's only, what, half a tenth behind Singh? That is clearly not the case right now. So let's have a little bit of a gander to see if we can find some battles around the track. But it is that midpoint of the race where it's a little bit quiet. That being said, if we look a bit further down the track, and maybe we can get this on the screen as well, we have Miko Nasi in P11, only 3 tenths behind Caleb Chin. Yeah, this could be an interesting one down to the line right now, as we're on board with P1 Nakib Aslan as he's coming through the Alvenborgen. And then we go into the chicane, getting ready for the Coca-Cola curve, the final curve of the track. Now, I gotta say, I like the chicane format very much. Oh, as Nakib now coming in, so we'll see if he's going to switch driver, if he's going to come out. Where is he going to come out? More is the point.
Yep. And we're probably going to a commercial break after this once he's done with the stop. But we need to find out where he's going. As now, there's his co-driver, the highly anticipated entry of AR Muhammad Alif, aka Alif Hamilton. So we are confirming now a driver swap is imminent. And there we go. Naki stops at his box just in time. They leave the ignition on. Just wait for the starter to come by, because that's kind of the trick in ACC where you had to come in. You leave the starter on so that your next driver can start the car immediately. As Felipe Bukida, who has reassumed the position in the car of the number 90 Laundry House car, has now reassumed the lead of the race.
Look at that man's face. He was smiling all the way up into the cockpit, into the seat. He's getting ready. He's in the zone. Alif Hamilton looking to make this recovery drive for the Stratus car even more amazing.
Yep. And starting from all the way outside the top 10 to be up in now P3. Let's see where he comes out in relation to the other cars. I think he's going to drop now to 4th and 5th. There we go. That's 4th. That's 5th. So that is actually now 5th place for the Stratos 111. They made up a heap load of time while they were out on track. Now then, they can actually try to go here for the win if they wanted to. If anything else would happen to the top 5, he comes out cleanly. Alif now has the job of trying to secure a top 5 finish, even higher up too, to actually be in the running for the championship when we are going to Paul Ricard after this.
Stranger things have happened. Of course, E1 on Race Room for the past few seasons. Very different game to Assetto Corsa Competition. You gotta say, the 5-point tire model in this game means that you have to be extremely smooth, and it looks like Alif has that down to a T just from the first few corners that he has.
Wow, he looks so comfortable, because normally some of the drivers, when they come out, they actually struggle with the tire heat. They try to generate the amount of heat there and not slide off. But in this case, look at that. The car's so tight coming through turn 5 and 6. It was like as if he never left the game at all. He never left the game at all. He's just been here the whole time. So Alif then looking very good, as we are now probably going to go to commercial break. So Kian, any final words on how it's going to play out?
Oh, I don't know. It'll be cool to see when we come back from commercial break. He's got a car, Alif, just 3 tenths behind. So we'll see if anything interesting happens there.
So then, before we go to commercial break, here's the run through the order. First and second, as we have had for the first 2 hours of this race, is Felipe Bukida right now taking over from Ryan Houlihan. Car number 90 McLaren for Laundry House in first. Second is the 911 Porsche, also from Laundry House in second. Third is Marino Pratama in the Legion of Racers, Mercedes number 889. Fourth is Jim right now in the number 69 Pui Pui Racing McLaren. Fifth is Alif, as we saw just now coming out of the pits, number 111 Stratos Ferrari. Sixth is Mock in the 939 BMW. Seventh is Fali Rahmat taking over from Adila Baha. They've lost big time here in the pit stop shuffle. In the number 10 McLaren for JM X Phantom. 8th is Russell Reyes, who I think have not come through the next cycle of stops in the number 2 Bentley for VRS Racing. 10th is Miko Nassi in the 222 Ferrari, as they actually been overtaken now by Muhammad Afiq in the McLaren. So a bit of a shuffle there, but there we go. Top 10 as of the second 2 hour and 40-minute mark. As we're only 20 minutes away from the 3rd hour. So from Yami Hazik and Kian Butler, I think Kian and Alex will take over for the next one. I'll be in the car soon, but it's been fun commentating. We'll see you in a few minutes' time after the commercials have actually gone through.
Pewter is about possibilities. It is an idea made real. Crafted with precision. It can make tradition timeless. Pewter evolves. When allowed to be free, it can captivate you. Pewter is our legacy, and we're keeping the legacy alive. Royal Selangor, since 1885.
Well, thanks to all of the sponsors who are supporting the eRacing GP Endurance Edition. It's round 3 of 6, and we are approaching the final 90 minutes of competition. Alex Young alongside Des Corker will be joined by Kian Butler in commentary in just a moment. Alex, your thoughts so far on this first 2.5 hours of racing? It's been a real performance by Laundry House.
Yeah, Laundry House, what a great performance. They've been threatening to do this for a while. They're 1 and 2 now, and Bakita and McLaren, who's leading the race and who's on shot right now, is fantastic. I mean, he's just the pace he's been pushing out. He's what is that? He's 19 seconds ahead of his teammate right now, and this is despite having a small off on the first lap of the race. So they're dominating the performance right now. The field is a bit spread out at the moment, but there's some strategies coming into play later on, I think. So I think it will close up.
We're on board with Bakida. Andy Lawrenson is in P2. You mentioned the Laundry House. Moreno Pratama is the man in P3 at the moment. On the left-hand side of the screen, we've got the race as it stands. But the interesting one for me, Muhammad Alif Hamilton. He's in P5 and he's got 90 minutes just over to claw back. If anyone is capable of clawing back, even with the success ballast, it's that man. Yeah,
you're right. He is the championship leader, him and Nakib Aslan. So he just has to be nice and clean. And he needs to find a bit more pace though. Their fastest lap right now is a 55.3 compared to Bakita, who's doing 54.6s, I think. And large part of that would be success ballast. But they have to find a couple more tenths. If they can find a couple more tenths and then just do it, bang it out lap after lap, and be good through the traffic, then I think they can find themselves in a podium position.
Just over the next few minutes, a couple of racers have come into the game for the very first time. Fadli Rakhmat is currently in P7 for the JMX Phantom team, and JMX, as usual, are there or thereabouts. They're unlikely to get a podium, although don't count them out. But again, they've been always quick, and Fadli is another who can take him home.
Yeah, and yeah, he is. It's good to see him in P7. JMX Phantom didn't have a great race in round 2, but they've been strong so far. He's got to find a bit more time though. How far is he back on compared to the others? Let's see.
Who's he chasing? Is it Jason Mock he's chasing? No, it's not. That's not Jason Mock there, is it? No.
At the times, the gaps are not there right now, so he's got a bit of a gap to find for sure.
And then also Alistair, your boy, Alistair Young, he's joined in as well. Car 222, taking over from Miko Nasi. Always been around that top 10. So if Miko's handed over a top 10 place, Alistair will be hoping that he can edge that. Also, the youngster Dylan Tam, a winner of the ERGP regular season 4. He's still a teenager, he's still a kid, and he's in P12 at the moment, and he's got an opportunity maybe just to make some time up on Alistair, Mohammed Afiq, and even Anastas ahead.
Yeah, I just talk about Dylan Tan. He had pole at round 2, and was leading the race for such a long time. Just showed experience beyond his age. As he just goes off a bit as he laps someone. Definitely a driver of the future, and although I have to say both the lead generation cars are not going as strongly as I thought they would. I thought they'd be challenging for the win, Dylan in 12th, still got a long way to go though.
Right behind them, Lee King Kong as well. Waco's Flippable Racing. They've been up in the top 3 at one stage. The Hong Kong team, they've fallen off the pace quite a bit, but you know, they're not out of it yet. There's still a ton of time. 90 minutes is a lot of time. I'm looking at the weather as well. I'm a big fan of rain. If rain was to come in the last hour, it could put the cat amongst the pigeons.
Yeah, it could do. And clouds are coming up.
Yeah, clouds are coming up. I'm looking at that with I'm hoping it's going to happen.
Yeah, you did say that, and I don't know if Kian is still here with us, but a bit of rain in the last hour would be quite exciting, wouldn't it?
Yeah, to make a lot of things happen, you know. It's always interesting to see cars like a Leaf in that Stratus car, you know. Imagine this. You have the 2 leaders of the laundry house. They've come in for their pits, and the drizzle starts. A Leaf has not pit yet. He's in P1, and they all have to go into the wet tires. So a situation like that could be a godsend for a Leaf in the Stratus car, and it could really shake up the grid once again.
That's a very good point, Kian, because the Stratus car that we're on shot right now, they are going long. So if they go longer than everyone else and they're in that first position, the rain falls just at the right time, that will put him in the front. Whether they could stay there in the rain, of course, that's a different question.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that Ferrari handles during the race, but it'd definitely be interesting to see how it all handles out eventually once the strategy plays.
In the pits, talking about pits, Nurshaz Lizan has gone in. He's in P32 at the moment, leading in the GT4 competition. Chapming Wong, he from Komachi Racing. Komachi have had an interesting time. We saw Chapming take the lead. Was it Max Lee who was the previous race leader? So Max Lee had a big crash, so he has dropped down to P3 in the GT4 competition, but nonetheless, Kian, Komachi Racing have made a fine debut in eRacing GP Endurance Edition. The person leading is Pipa Bakida. Have you been watching Kian Bakida? Any chance of any kind of an error, or has she just been metronomically lapping quickly? A 156.5 last time out.
You know how I would describe this car, and in fact the P2 car currently, I would describe them as a laundry machine. You put it on the same cycle every time, and you trust it to do the same thing every time. You never want that machine to break down. But occasionally you might get some colors mixing and some clothes ruined. So we'll see if a bit of a slip-up happens for one of the 2 laundry house cars, but you have to say the performance so far has been stellar.
Magical stuff. You've been saving that one up for a long time, but again, the adjectives are absolutely perfect. Bakida leads the way. Andy Lawrenson in P2. Remember, Bakida dropped down as far as P6 because she had a couple of mistakes, and Lawrenson was leading for a long time, and then Bakida took the lead, and since then, give or take the moments when the pit changes have taken place, Bakita and co have been in the front throughout. Laundry House mopping up.
Hope they got the psycho on code, but yeah, doing well.
Pratama, P3. Kyo Lim, P4. Gosh, he'll be regretting that mistake earlier on. And he, with an hour still to race, an hour and a quarter still to race, he didn't need to really urge himself. But again, hitting a little bit of dirt, a little bit ragged at the moment, Kyo Yim. Do you reckon he's being put off by that mistake he made, Kian?
Yeah, there's two ways that you need to handle mistakes. You either need to clear your mind, zen yourself out, and get back on the track, or you need to drive mad, push every ounce of the car that you can, and make sure that that anger drives you forward. It's a bit of good side, dark side stuff going on there from, you might say, the Star Wars universe, but Yim behind has to look out for Alif as well. He has to try and close that gap to Pratama, I'd say, so that Alif is at least somewhat discouraged from making a move while those two battle.
Yeah, good comments. Fadli Rakhmat is going into the pits.
Just come
out to the pits. So is this the last round of pit stops?
Yes,
and
it is.
Is he hoping that there is not going to be any rain? Because I'm assuming he's on slicks. So if any rain or any grease comes in, he will be in deep doo-doo if the weather changes.
If he did just come out of the pits, and that was a planned pit stop, he's got a long way to go to get to the end of the race on one fuel tank. So we've got about an hour, 12 minutes to have to go. A lot of these cars, some of the cars can make 75 minutes, hour 15, some cannot, and I'm not sure if the Merc can. Sorry, the McLaren can.
It's Dylan Tan who is the man who is pressurising them. Now look at that. Is that Andrew Lawrenson looking to lap Dylan Tan? Dylan Tan is currently in P10. Fadli Rakhmat P9. But Andy Lawrenson is coming in. And Andy Lawrenson is the guy who is looking to lap the guys in the top 10. That just tells you what a performance it's been from the Laundry House team, Kian.
Yeah, Laundry House cleaning up once again. It's always discouraging to see yourself being lapped. I think the one solace that Tan could take, and that Rashmat could take as well, is that it's taken them 3 hours to get it on them. So, a good effort so far. But that P2 car, obviously trying to get past now, has to be a little bit respectful. Neither of these drivers want to lose the battle, so they're not going to really pull just aside and let off the throttle too much here.
Yeah. I have to say, Dylan Tan's last lap was 55.3, so he's flying in that red Legion Racers car. Makes it very hard for Lawrenson to overtake.
And then you've got the complication, of course, also of the GT4 racers getting in the way as well. This is boiling up very, very nicely. So Dylan goes past, Fadli goes past, Lawrenson, he sweeps past. Ahead of them, the race leader, Bakita, has already gone through. And quite rightly, the GT4 guys take a wide berth. I do feel for the GT4 guys, Kian, in that they have to be looking in their mirrors the whole time because there's always some pressure coming up behind, as well as them going forward, looking forward and racing against their competitors.
There's a reason I prefer driving prototypes of GT cars in these kind of endurance races. It's because the faster car, you know, even if they do bump it off, it is their fault, but you never have to put all your faith into the car that you are getting passed by. So it is that little bit of extra solace, and it is ultimately up to your skill to get past those GT4 cars.
Okay, good. I'm loving your perspective. We are on board here with Dylan Tan. The Legion of Racers right on the tail of Fadli Rakhmat. He's got Anandas in front of them. He's actually in P10. Anandas sweeps outside. Again, a couple of GT4s. That's Karimdajit Singh and Jonathan Takumi. Leah Singh just gets in the way as they go through the chicane. That was a scary little moment there for Dylan Tan as Lawrenson goes past Dylan Tan. That is aggression, but controlled aggression from Andy Lawrenson.
Yeah, that's quite clever from Dylan, because Lawrenson's been stuck behind Dylan trying to lap for a long time. So he lets Lawrenson through, and Rakhmat's letting Lawrenson through as well, and that's going to allow Dylan to get a run on him. Wow, I'm really surprised Rakhmat decided to pull over that way. He should have waited to the end of the straight, not the beginning of the straight. And that's allowed Dylan to take him for position.
Oh, and Rakhmat and Dylan Tan nearly have a coming together, but it's Lawrenson who leads that little train through the GT4s. Dylan Tan decides to take a bit of a pull from the back of Andy Lawrenson, and Fadli Rakhmat loses a place. So Dylan Tan up to P8. Where's Anandas in all of that? Anandas has dropped down into P10, and Fadli Rakhmat in P9 with Alistair Young not too far behind either. Pratama has indeed stayed out. Yeah, Andika Rama did a double stint, so Pratama has made his pit stop and has come back out in P6 ahead of Rays and Dylan Tan of Fadli Rakhmat and Alistair Young as Fahad goes into the pits. Andy Lawrenson is in the pits, so P2 Andy Lawrenson for Laundry House. How do you see the strategy going at the moment, Kian?
Well, I'll tell you this much: if I'm the Key Baslan, I'm on the side helping out my teammate Alif by doing a bit of a rain dance, you know. I would have done my research before the race and made sure that it starts pouring down in the next section, because I do believe now Alif will be closing up, if not ahead of Lawrenson by the end of this pit stop phase. We'll see how it all filters out. But you have Yim, you have Alif, we have some pretty compelling storylines going on for this battle for P3. You have the potential undercut to retain position by Pratama. We have the overcut by Alif, and we have yet to see whether Yim thinks it's more important to cover off Pratama or to defend against Alif once he comes knocking up.
Indeed. We've also got a driver change as well. So Lawrenson is out. Terry Rayton is in for his second stint. So the tactic from the Aussies is 2 1-hour stints apiece, which suggests that Bakida may well be stepping out of the car as well when she goes in for her pit stop, which must be imminent, must be coming up in the next couple of laps, I would imagine.
Yeah. See the Australian colours on the car, Kian. I'm not sure what is that. Is that a...
It's a kangaroo, mate. It's a kangaroo.
Hey, it's kangaroo, mate. Hey, mate.
Okay.
What do you think of a kangaroo as your national symbol, sir?
Well, I mean, I'll put it like this. I find it interesting that Australia is one of the few countries that eats both of its national animals, of the emu and the kangaroo. Clearly, we respect them enough to put them on both our crest and our dinner plates.
Splendid. I've never had that interpretation before. Very good. But Bakida leads the way. Car 87, I love the graphics, the way they throw up the dirt. It can cause perhaps a slight distraction, but nothing has distracted Bakida. Staying on board with her to see if indeed there is going to be a pit stop, because if there is, Kyo Yin would be the temporary race leader, and Bakida might be getting caught up in a little bit of traffic. 1, 2, 3 cars. You've got Singh ahead, Judah Steer ahead of her. Just swans past the two of them. Nonchalantly done by Bakida. Top racing.
It'll be interesting to see if he goes in the pits now. Yes,
yeah,
he does.
Decides to go in. Glad we stayed on board with Bakida. And the next question, will it be a driver change as well? I suspect it's going to have to be, because she's done 2. Partner will have done only 1. So unless they're going to be really, really tempting fate and change partners midway through the final hour, Bakida has done a brilliant race. And that means the new race leader, Kian, is from PP Racing, Kyo Yim.
Yes, now it's going to be that big number 1 sitting in the top left of the screen, I think. I'm not sure where it is on the ACC overlay, but will it be pressure inducing? Let's see. He's got a lead 3.425 seconds behind. He's got the Laundry House cars in the pits. Will he be able to make some kind of overcut? I don't think so. These McLarens can't go much further, I think, than where the Laundry House team is going, but we know those Ferraris can. So let's see now if that rain dance is going to pay off for Relief.
I tell you what, Kyo Yim might not be coming out in P1 because the Bakida team are just coming out the pits. It is indeed Ryan Houlihan, and Houlihan may well be coming out in the lead. It'll be nip and tuck because Kyo Yim tries to get past, but Houlihan, having made the pit stop, is still going to be coming out into the lead, Alex Young.
But he shouldn't. Lawrenson should be in the lead. Sorry, Terry Rayton should be in the lead.
Terry Rayton dropped to P4, and Alif, who's not pitted, has dropped down. No, so Terry Rayton was 3 behind Kyo Yim. Oh,
yeah.
No, they weren't, were they? They weren't.
Well,
But Kyo Yim's not been in for a pit stop.
No, but yeah, Terry Rayton was only 30 seconds behind car number 911. It was only 30 seconds behind car 90. So he should have come out in front, but somehow Bakita... Oh, no, sorry, of course, Terry pitted first.
Yes, they pitted first. So they've both done the pits. Kyo-Yim and Alif have still got a pit. So Alif is the next one for me. Is he going to stay out? How long can he stay out, indeed? Doing the mathematics, it's 75. They've only made 2 pit stops so far, haven't they?
Yeah. So Kyo-Yin should be coming in first, and then he'll be handing to the 4th driver. Pui Racing, the only team with 4 drivers today. So a completely fresh driver in. So you would imagine that fresh driver might take a couple laps to get up to speed. And if that's the case, Alif will have a very good chance to take that 3rd position.
Looking top right at the weather. It's still cloudy, though that rain dance isn't working for you at the moment, Kian.
Yep, I don't see the weather playing out. It might keep getting colder and colder, but I'm not sure that we're going to get any water in this race. And at this point, I'm not sure it'd be meaningful anyway, because it does take a time for the wets or the inters to become the preferable tire compared to the softs, or sorry, the slicks compounds that these guys are currently running.
Indeed, but it could be a fascinating... If it comes for the last half hour, it could be fascinating. As Kyo-Yin decides to come into the pits. So, he is the next one in. He never made it into the race lead. He got as high as P2, but now he's going to drop down a little bit. Certainly behind Terry Rayton, definitely behind Alif. As Alif goes through into P2, Kyo-Yin drops down into P3. And these pit stops seem to take forever, Kian.
You do indeed. I think Kian's left us now. He's off to do something. So thanks very much, Kian.
Great job, Kian. But I enjoyed your comments terrifically.
Very good.
And the Aussie kangaroo and the emu on the plate and on the flag. What a comment.
Yeah. Pratama in P6. He's dropped down. He shouldn't be so far back, should he? He's behind Jason Mock as well at the moment.
So Jason Mock has come ahead of Moreno Pratama, but has Jason made a pit stop?
Yeah,
remember, Pratama was first into the pits.
Yeah. So this will be the thing. Will Yim be able to get out in front of Pratama?
So Pratama, as he comes round, let's have a look. So Pratama is into the home straight, and Yim is just starting. This will be tight. Pratama, bottom left of your screen. Has he gone through already?
No, he hasn't gone through yet. He should be coming.
There he is. Oh, it's tight. And Pratama, he'll carry the speed, but he's blocked off there by Kyo-Yim. But Kyo-Yim, those tyres will take, what, half a lap to get up to speed, to get up to racing heat?
Yeah, he's stayed. Wow, yeah, it's going to take about half a lap before it gets any temperature. So this is the chance. Pratama's all over the back of him.
Pratama, this is the moment. Pratama looks on the outside. And, oh, Chan defends. Well done by Chan. He's done well. What a great first stint Chan had. And now he's going to start off his second stint having to defend for his life. Moreno Pratama, this is the battle for P5 at the moment. Pratama for Legion of Racers against Chan Yuk-bi from Pui Racing. This is his first involvement in the race, Chan's. My apologies. They've got a 3-man team.
Yeah, 4-man team. So this is Chan. But this is the 4th member of the car. And he's done a great job of holding off Pratama. Normally when you get into the car like that, cold tires and everything, it's very easy to make a couple small mistakes. But he's not. He's been on it straight away. And Pratama is not close enough as they come down the back straight.
Well, Pratama, that was the chance you feel for him to get into a top 5 position at least. But as they come up towards the chicane, unless he can leave the braking very, very late, which he tried to. But Chan has done superbly well. That's wonderful defensive driving for the first half of the lap. And now let's see if he can get up to speed as Pratama goes on the inside. But hasn't quite got the pace, but he has got the slipstream toe. Now then, Moreno Pratama. This is the opportunity for him. He's got the slipstream. What's the defending going to be like for Chan? Pratama goes on the outside and Chan defends on the inside. Does he leave the braking too late? No, he doesn't. And Pratama trying everything he knows, Alex Young. And then some, and still can't get past Chan Yuk-bi.
Nah, I can't. That's great defending by Chan. He's defending again. Ooh, this might... Oh, he's gone wide there. That's going to cost him a bunch of time. And Pratama's going to get a better exit out of this right-hander. But no, Chan does a good job of holding on there.
It's almost like he's making his car twice the width it should be. All the while, though, it means he's losing a little bit of ground on Jason Mock in P4. I just want to break away from this just for a moment because Muhammad Alif has decided to stay out once again. So Alif is leaving his change as late as he possibly can. Look top right of your screen and there's a little bit of sunshine suggested. Not the rain. Come on, rain. No sunshine. We want rain. Surely Laundry House can't lose it from here. That's the assumption.
Dude, I think let's wait for Alif's pit stop. I think he should be coming out the next few laps. But then after that, I tell you what, we could talk to Andrew Lawrenson, actually, see what he thinks about how things have been going.
As you say,
let's go, guys.
He's back. Andrew Lawrenson. What a performance from you guys at Laundry House.
It looks like it should be a 1-2. We can't complain. The agreement was, if I get pole, we'll give the other guys the race just so they feel better. So it's nothing to do with outright pace.
Yeah, nonsense. No, just joking. No, you said you are joking, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely joking. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Don't believe anything I say. No, we've had a good run. We've got nothing to match the outright pace of the McLaren. The first and third stints that I was in, we didn't get the pressures entirely right, so they were running quite low, which is fine. The balance was fine, but the outright pace of the car was about half a second off where it should be in clean air, and we did not see much of that. So it was a race of traffic, but we've had good luck there. Ryan and Philippa have had better luck, but they've had a good run. Happily this time without any hardware issues.
Yeah, I mean the McLaren.
Touch wood.
Yeah, touch wood. The McLaren's been fantastic. I mean, is this going to be the case for the whole season, or can you get a handle on them?
Track by track. The McLaren seems to be generally pretty good everywhere, whereas the Porsche, if it's good somewhere, it's very, very good there, but it doesn't average out as well. But it's more rewarding. You've got to fight the car. And we're the only Porsche in the field, so we've got to bring the people's car home.
It seems like for once it's been no real worries for you. You've lapped consistently. You haven't got yourself boxed in with any of the traffic. There haven't been any hardware issues. Touch wood, there's still 35 minutes to go. I know a lot can still happen. Have you done anything differently? Has your preparation been different? Have you? What's been the difference this week?
Not really. I know Philippa is. She went and sort of replaced the routers that she had issues with last time. Ryan's ping has come down a lot, which is good, I think. But no, we've sort of been ticking the boxes off, making sure that the preparation is there on the hardware side, not just on the strategy side, to make sure that we don't have silly issues. And we've dialed back the aggression a bit on the blue flags and passing, which is obviously helpful.
Yes. Yeah. I saw the pings actually. I don't want to worry you, but Ryan's ping went up to 255 temporarily there. He's back down to the 87s. Don't want to worry you.
It'll be fine. He's up in far north Queensland, so they're pretty much out in the jungle. He's I don't know, it's probably carrier pigeon internet out there.
Where are you all based, all four of you? Are you separate?
Yeah, Philippa's down south in Melbourne. Terry's in South Australia in Adelaide. I'm on the Gold Coast, and Ryan's up in Cairns, I think, off the top of my head. So nowhere near each other. Good 1,000 kilometres between each driver, I think.
That is sensational. That is esports in a nutshell. Fantastic. Well, I hope things carry on smoothly for you, it being strictly neutral, of course. But the racing has been absolutely superb. You've hardly made a mistake. Philippa had a couple of problems on the first lap, but other than that, both Laundry House cars have driven superbly.
Yeah, can't complain. Thanks, guys. It's we'll bring it home next 30 minutes, hopefully for a 1-2 all blue podium plus. I think a BMW, if I'm doing the math correctly.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you.
Magic. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Really good speaking to him like that. Great comments there. But yeah, great job. I think you just heard from Andrew Lawrenson, who's sharing the car with Terry Rayton right now. They're in third position, which will be second position once this guy, Muhammad Alif, pits, because he's still yet to pit.
I just need to revisit his comment about where they are all based. They are in Australia, in the far four corners, well, all up that east coast, from south up to north. and they're in a team. That is a remarkable testimony to what esports is all about.
Yeah, and that's something that I took a while to get used to, because like I'm working with some of these drivers now for a while. I was like, okay, can we meet here and here? I want to talk to you about this and that. We go through some stuff, and they're like, no, let's just use Discord. And as an old foggy it's really tough for me. I want to see them, I want to talk to them, but they're so happy to doing it in Discord. They can get the nuances just through those sort of conversations, and I'm getting used to it. It is a far more efficient way of doing things.
Well, I'm a bit older. I still like a telephone line. I still like no mobiles, but let's not talk about me. Anyway, Ryan Houlihan leads. Alif is still staying out there, Alex. As you suggested, he could go as late as, maybe not as late as 15 minutes before he makes the change. But they're onto lap 105. Alif is in second. Terry Rayton is 22 seconds down on Alif. Alif's 22 seconds down on Ryan Houlihan.
Yeah, but he's got a pit stop to do. So when he comes in, he's going to lose a minute. And that is going to put him right smack bang with the fight between Pui Racing and Legion of Racers, who are in 4th and 5th at the moment. Oh, no, here we go. At least in. So the last stint for Nakib wasn't a 75-minute run. So 27 minutes ago. I did think 30 minutes ago. So he's going to have to put less than half tank, like 40% tank right now. So that's going to save him a bucket load of time. As he also probably, I'm not sure, I wonder if he's even going to put tyres on.
Is that worth 0.3 of a second a lap, or what kind of time will it save him?
I'm going to say it's going to save him about 10 seconds.
Okay. As Ryan Houlihan makes a rare error. He went off the racing line.
Ryan still did a 55.8 that last lap, so they're still pushing. I don't know why, their lead is huge.
Terry Rayton comes around, and Terry Rayton will move into P2.
Yeah, and now we've got to see the battle for 3. Let's see where Leaf comes out, because we got Chan, Pui Racing and Legion of Racers is going to be coming out right around the way place that Leaf comes out.
So there is Alif comes out.
Let's see where is Pui Racing. Can we go to...
That's GT4 as...
Oh, there.
No, there they are. That's Pui Racing. So Alif comes out in P3.
Good strategy by Stratos Motorsports. Going for the long stints. It meant that they were heavy at fuel, especially in that first stint of the race. But it meant that they could short fill so much for this last stint, and that's put him into third P3.
So that's solid. That's a solid 16 points, so long as he holds on for the final 26 minutes. Gosh, in eRacing, a 30-minute race is a long race for us, and now we're looking at the final 26 minutes as being sprint-like. Fabulous. So Ryan Houlihan, it would be immensely cruel if Laundry House were to suffer any kind of a problem.
Yeah, a disconnect or something. I mean, with that issues, I remember, what have they had? They've had a CPU failure and a disconnect in round 1.
The CPU failure was the most spectacular, wasn't it? Because we saw them literally having to go off the racing line right the way through a lap immediately after a pit stop, and that devastated them.
Yeah, super happy for these guys. So I mean, hopefully we can chat to them after the race. But yeah, Houlihan doing a good job. Yeah, 1-2 as well. Teams championship is going to be very good for them.
Terry Rayton, he's in P2. Laundry House Endurance, his last lap of 156.2. Houlihan's last lap of 154.3. That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's the best lap of the race.
That is the best lap of the race. I think Bakita did a 54.3 as well, but this one is ever so slightly quicker.
Gosh. So Alif.
Wait, why is he coming to pit again?
Ooh, we got a stop-go penalty, 30 seconds.
Oh, wow, what was that for?
Alif. Human. And that could well cost him certainly 4th place, because Chan has gone through, so Chan is there. How about Moreno Pratama? He goes through. So Alif, having coming out in P3, finds himself in P5. How about Fadli Rakhmat? Could Fadli go through? Surely not. Fadli will come round.
He's going to go through as well.
Is he? Alif. Currently, well, he was in P3 when he got the stop-go penalty. And he's still in. So Fadli Rakhmat will move through into P5. Couldn't be worse. And Jason Mock as well. Could it? Jason Mock will go through. Alif. Oh, what torture that is for Alif Hamilton.
Wow.
Gosh. Lance Gubala, he wouldn't go past him, could he? No. Lance Gubala won't. But Alif Hamilton staggers out the pits. Make sure this time there's no problem as Alistair gets a drive-through penalty as well in P13. That is a catastrophe for Alif Hamilton.
What is going on with all the Stratos Motorsports cars? There's drive-throughs, everyone. I don't think there's been a Stratos Motorsport car that hasn't had a drive-through. Wow, I would love to know what that was. Because a stop and go 30-second penalty is quite a big one. And I'd love to know why that was.
Well, maybe we'll have a chance to talk to Alif, because that is definitely worth talking. He's smiling.
He's still smiling.
Somehow, but it was through very, very gritted teeth, and I'm sure I heard a grinding of the teeth there from Alif. But P3 to P7 on one mistake, and that surely is the writing on the wall now for Ryan Houlihan and Terry Rayton.
Yeah. Fantastic job. But yeah, so Alif is still smiling, so I'd be mad. I wonder, maybe it must be something that they were expecting or something, because wow, that's cost them the podium position.
In the meantime, though, what a result this will be for Pui Pui Racing. This is their debut, isn't it, Pui Pui?
Yeah, the debut. I think so.
And a podium on debut. Well, that's a way to mark everybody else's card. Legion of Racers will be wanting to do their best to try and change that, but 22 more minutes for debutant Chan for the debutant Pui Pui Racing team to make a debut podium position. Right the way down the line, our pal Amo Hazik down in P21. Doesn't look like he's going to make the points. Dylan Tan in 9, Nigel Chua 10, Wu Kit 11, Kelvinder Singh 12, Alistair 13, Lee 14, Nichols 15. They are the point scorers at the moment. Pratama in P4. So what happened between Pratama and Chan? Because they were very close at one stage. Now it's a 14-second differential. And Moreno Pratama's just had a 2:04 lap.
I wonder if he's had a small spin or something. That's a big time loss. Okay, let's see if we can talk to someone from Stratos Motorsports to find out what happened to Alif.
Well, you get them on Discord. I'll just keep an eye on Moreno Pratama. Fadli Rakhmat is 16 seconds down at one stage. That was nip and tuck. Behind them, the best of the Hong Kong teams is Jason Mock. Alif down in P7. And he's the man we're trying to investigate what went on. Lance Gubala for VRS Racing in P8. We've rather ignored Lance in the Bentley. It's the best, classiest looking car on the circuit.
Yeah, 2 Bentleys on one straight right now. They love
Beautiful.
putting the lights on the grille at the front, so the grille lights up. It's kind of cute.
Well, wouldn't you if you had a car that beautiful, wouldn't you? Dylan Tan is in P9, the teenager, trying to get past Katubi, one of the junior JMX racers, and Dylan Tan's a veteran now at 14. Nigel Chua completes the top 10. Okay, let's go and talk on and find out just a little bit what's been happening to Muhammad Alif.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah.
Hey, Nakib. So, what happened? You look like you were on for a 3rd position, and?
Yeah, it was looking good. I think we played the strategy really well, but unfortunately, I think the pit limit speed board was taken out, and Alif just mistaken for the lines. There's like 5 lines coming into the pit lane, so I don't blame him. It got confused, and yeah, unfortunate, but these things happen, sadly.
So, speeding in the pit lane, that is a shame. So not a great day. I mean, P3 would have been a great result from P15 on the grid. You guys were obviously got the strategy right, drove well as well. But P7's not so bad either.
Yeah, I mean, today after qualifying, unfortunately on my end, wasn't the best. So coming into it, I knew it was going to be damage limitation. Just try and drive as clean as I could. Try and make up as many positions, and we were looking good for that. Almost a podium position, but yeah, I guess this wasn't meant to be today.
Oh well, never mind. Cheer up, and of course, we'll be back for the next round.
For sure.
Okay. Well done.
Naqib Aslam being very gracious.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect anything else, but Alif has proven that he doesn't make silly mistakes. And so explain that one to me again, Alex. There was a change.
So there are boards all around the track, brake marking boards, and in the pit lane there's a pit lane board on the grass. So someone obviously has come into the pit lane, got it crossed up, and taken out the board. So Alif would have come in. So you normally look at the board for that to signal the line to get the car slowed down, so you can get under the speed limit. So Alif probably didn't see the board, wondered where the board was, and then suddenly probably went past the board before he slowed down, and that's why he got a stop and go penalty of 30 seconds.
Ahead of them, just a thumbs up to Kelvin De Singh and Luboy Kit. They've both been out of the limelight, but they've got themselves up into a top 12 place. We're staying with this because there's a real race going on, not with Jason Mock, who's immediately behind, but with Lee Kin Long, who's in the Waco's car just behind them. Alistair has to be careful that Iman Danish doesn't take him out. Jason Mock really is putting the pressure on Alistair, who will be aware that it's Jason behind him, won't he?
Yeah, they'll be aware. And
let him through.
Let him through.
Oh, and then we're on board with Lee Kin Long. And this race is on. A 7.5 minute sprint to the line with Alistair in pole position, but having to defend.
Oh, he's gone wide there. That's going to cost him a long time. Lee's got to get the run on him into the next corner, Des.
So there is the shot. Lee for Waco's on Alistair for the Stratos Motorsports. And Alistair, in allowing Jason Mock behind him, well, Jason has allowed Lee to come forward as well. Jim Masvilton has dropped way off the pace. So clearly Jin, who's a very quick racer, is having a problem. Now Alistair has to defend once again. Can only defend once as they come into the chicane.
Oh, made a mistake again. You got to defend the inside. Yeah, he does last minute. That's going to affect his exit out this last corner. Oh, it's looking good for Lee.
We're on board with Lee. Alistair, when does he defend? Lee's in the slipstream. Moves on to the outside. Alistair will try to defend the corner at the end of this home straight. And Alistair just moves to the outside and defends, but goes a little bit wide. Lee might have the drive out on him, but Alistair manages to block. Excellent defensive work for Alistair, but he's under such pressure from Lee.
Oh, and who's coming down the inside?
That is Iman.
Yeah, he's unlapping himself. Oh.
There's complicated. Iman in P25. Yeah. He gets in between Lee and Alistair.
Yeah, Lee won't be liking that because he'll be seeing the car's unlapping himself. Ah, that's a shame for Lee there. I thought Lee had Young for sure.
Well, we can afford to look at this battle for What is it? It's P13. Unlucky for some, but at the moment, quite fortunate for Alistair Young. Able to hold on. I'm sure Lee will come again, temporarily. Oh. Just before Alistair again goes wide, doesn't he?
Yeah, that Ferrari's struggling to slow down right now. I've seen a few times where he's jumped on the brakes and just ran a bit wide. Maybe the tyres are getting a bit worn. Maybe the pressures are not in the right window.
A lot of rubber on the ground. Let's just go quickly to Ryan Houlihan. Make sure there's nothing untoward happening to Ryan, as he now comes onto lap number 120 for him. Over the start-finish line. Terry Rayton will be in P2. So Houlihan starts his 120th lap. It has been textbook. It has been fabulous. Other than the first lap, when Pippa Bakida had a couple of problems and she dropped down to P6. But she got herself back into P1 by the end of her stint. And I don't think, barring the pit stops, they've been out of P1 since. Terry Rayton in P2.
Terry Rayton P2.
Oh, Lee Kin Long has gone into the pits. So that battle with Alistair has clearly hurt Lee Kin Long. So Alistair can rest just a little bit easy that he is okay. Ryan Houlihan. 4.5 minutes to go. Why would you go into the pits with 4 minutes to go?
I must have pitted a bit too early. Fuel consumption. Oh, that's a shame for Lee. Oh, was that a drive-through? No, it wasn't a drive-through, right?
No, it wasn't a drive-through.
Splash and dash. Short-filled the car. Didn't have enough fuel. Is that going to be enough to hold on to P14? Might be, you know. Because Nicholas in the Black Wolf racing car, where is he on track?
There he is.
Yeah, he's far
Lachlan
behind.
Nichols.
So Lee will still pick up 2 points then for 14th position. Didn't lose a position.
That's cynically done. You've got cynical mind, you racers, don't you? Calculating.
Absolutely.
How can you trust people like that? Ryan Houlihan.
Shall we have a quick look at the GT4 battle before the
Yes, let's do that exactly. Where it was, who's leading? It wasn't Adrian Ferguson. Wasn't Carson. It wasn't Calvin.
Yep.
Now Calvin Tong has taken the lead from Samson Chan.
Wow, look how close they are.
Wow, there's a battle worth having. So Samson Chan is in P2 in that battle.
And look at the Houlihan's just lapping the well. So we were talking about this earlier. We thought that Calvin Tong was a little bit quicker and would close down the gap, but we didn't think he'd do it so quickly. But now he's back in front. This is a battle of the teammates. Oh, Chan goes wide there.
Well, Team Komachi, they've enjoyed that. The battles within the battles are part of the stories, and only the racers can really know what's going on there. But Samson Chan has left it late. At the end of 4 hours, to actually retake the lead with just 5 minutes to go, that's cheeky.
Yeah, very cheeky. But looks like also that Tong is pulling away right now. Chan just made a couple errors just on this lap, so he's just dropping back a little bit further from Tong. It goes a bit wide there as well again.
There is the difference between 1 and 2 in the GT4 teammates, Komachi. Tong and Samson Chan. Calvin Tong, the lead is just over 1.5 seconds now. They're on the same part of the circuit. And will this be coming through? They could well be coming through. They'll finish this lap and then one more.
Yeah, finish that one more. Third position is not close to them, is it? The VRS car. It's about half a lap behind, I think.
Aldo Ray.
There he is. Yeah, it's about a quarter of a lap behind, shall we say. All on the same lap. So these guys look like they're going to finish 1, 2, 3. We'll have to come back to that GT4 battle though when they cross the line, I feel.
Certainly will. Bernard Chan is in 4 and Jonathan Takumi Lee in 5. But now our attention must surely be taken by Ryan Houlihan, who along with Pippa Bakida comes through, and this will be the final lap of this 4-hour endurance race. And he's just posted, would you believe, 156 to 250, 265, 156. Very, very consistent. I can't recall them being outside 158.
No, they're fantastic. They definitely drive the day, both of them, Houlihan and Bakida. They were easily in the 54s. Wow, look at that fastest lap he's obviously done the stint at 54.0. That is almost a second quicker than anyone else. This is Barcelona all over again. But unlike Barcelona, instead of having mechanical issues, they actually finished the job to get the win.
So this is them at the midpoint of the endurance race season, laying down a major marker. Stratos Motorsports will have to be settled with just 9 points for P7. It's a bad day at the office for Stratos, for Nakib and Alif Hamilton, as James Russell goes through in the Stratos car. But it's Ryan Houlihan on the lap of honour. It has been a fantastic performance from Houlihan and Bakida. It's been terrific from Rayton and Andy Lawrenson. And Yukbi Chan behind them in P3 as well. He's going to drive home a debut podium for that team. But let's stick with Ryan Houlihan. Have you got any adjectives that you haven't used on him yet, Alex?
I haven't. I've run out of adjectives. The car with the worst ping in the field are going to go on to win. Fantastic for the championship. This is going to put them back in the championship hunt because we've seen all the cars in front of them all not have good races today.
So it is Laundry House, car number 90. They were 7th. This will move them on to 40 points. And won't move them up to the top, but it'll move them closer to Stratos Motorsports. And it'll certainly set the agenda. Going through the line for the victory is Ryan Houlihan of Laundry House. They have got the victory. And Terry Rayton will come through in just a few seconds' time to make it a 1-2. But there is your victor. We are on board. It's only an animation, sadly, but a really, really good race from Ryan Houlihan. Terry Rayton, he will be coming through now, just getting through to the edge of this. That's how comprehensive the victory was for Ryan Houlihan. The Terry Rayton, who's been ultra, ultra quick, he's only coming through to the tail end of his lap now.
Here he is coming through the line. We can actually see the GT4 boys go as well. I think they've crossed the line already in first and second.
And third place very, very quickly, if I may, as Terry Rayton goes through. Third place, Yuk Bicham for Pui Racing. That is a debut podium for them. And Calvin Tong has won the GT4 race. Samson Cham in second. Aldo-Ray Balagulam in third. But this story, Alex, is really all about Laundry House Racing, Ryan Houlihan and Pippa Bakita.
Yeah. Here we are, the results as they come across the line. Fantastic job for Laundry House. 1 and 2.
70 seconds the interval. 70 seconds, a minute clear, a minute plus clear of Rayton and Lawrenson. Then you've got the debutants of Chan, Yim, Lai, and Marco Wong, who started off the quartet. Pratama and Andika Molana. Fadli Rakhmat and Baha, that's a good fifth. Jason Mock and Law in P6, the best of the BMWs. Ali Fanazlan, a frustrating seventh after that drive-through 30-second penalty in the final 30 minutes. Dylan Tan, well done with Luis Moreno in the Mercedes in P8. Gubala and Reyes in the Bentley, classy 9th position for the number 2 car. A long way down, 4 seconds down. For Hakeem says sorry. Aaron Lim says Corey saw number 22. Russell Reyes, a lot of apologies going on at the moment. Simke Wern says congratulations to all who finished, and that is exactly what it is. But the biggest congratulations of all go to this fella, Ryan Houlihan, and his partner Pippa Bakita. Laundry House, a 1-2, fantastic. Bakita, as we saw, went down to P6 very, very early on, but that was the only step back that Team Laundry House had, whereas everybody else seemed to suffer some kind of an issue. Although we've got to talk about the team who came in third for the first time, Alex, the
Pui Racing,
the Pui Racing, absolutely sensational.
Yeah, I don't think we can get him on the Discord at the moment. But yes, Pui Racing, first time in, third position behind the 2 Laundry House cars. Really, really good job.
Okay, so that is our production. It's a month later than it should have been, but we got there in the end. We are midway through the season. We're 3 rounds done. The dice has been cast by Laundry House. They have set the mark today, a 1 and 2. Are they able to keep it up? Do join us again. We are back on your screens towards the end of July for round 4 of the eRacing GP. From the guys behind the scenes, the ones who make it all work, who do all the hard work behind the scenes, and from Alex and myself, Des Corkill, it's been a pleasure bringing you eRacing GP Endurance Edition.